Oh, we're live. Never mind.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Chris and Matt on Movies. This is our Schmo show. It's a really good show. I am Chris. And Matt is on mute. He's going to the park. So let's just hope he is not. Oh, actually, it's the first time actually on Chris and Matt on Movies. He's on video. So this is going to be funny. And joining us today, very special announcement we will begin very, very shortly. We have a couple. Mr. Aaron Cornell, what's going on, man? Good to have you. I think you're our first guest, ever.
Cool. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, starting right off the bat, let's talk about what we were talking about. Right before we aired, we were talking about dicks in summer comedies. So, Aaron, go ahead. Let's talk about summer dicks.
Please.
So, no, but seriously, though, we like to start off with some stuff. I'm going to talk about something in a bit. But you work at a movie theater, so you've been a part of a movie theater for a long time, and you told a very interesting story, and I think Matt wants to hear this. Talk about this story, because we were talking about dicks in movies, because Baywatch has a very specific dick scene, and there's something involving you who work at a theater. So go ahead and talk about this real quick.
It was just the other night when I was working, they had me, and this was, I'm talking like the 11 o'clock showing. They had me stand outside the theater checking everyone's ticket walking in just to make sure no one too young got in the theater because people were trying to sneak in to see the movie.
Oh, wow.
People were trying to sneak in earlier, and it's like the last time I saw them be this protective about a movie was Sausage Party, which is like...
And I worked at a theater then, too, and Matt has worked at a theater before, too, so we've all worked. And I was a manager for a while, and at different theater, we played Sausage Party, and we literally wrote, if you are not 17 and you do not show ID, this was to everybody, you will not be able to get into Sausage Party because they were very strict on that. Because
they were very strict.
Very strict, and that's the same thing with comedies. I think Chips did the same thing. Fuck that movie, but I mean, did the same.
They weren't as strict on Chips at my theater, but then again, I don't think anybody was seeing Chips at my theater, so
no, I think didn't it bomb?
Oh, Chips bombed pretty badly.
It bombed, okay. But yeah, let's get into something. So today I saw two movies. One was a movie that is shit that Matt told me not to watch because I am a critic and because I wanted to try to get reviews out more. Again, I saw Chips. And the first thing I will say is, it's shit. I think we all expected that. But it's not Baywatch bad, it's just bad. And I will say Michael Pena is the best part of the movie, and I laughed a few times for someone who didn't see the trailer. But then right after that, I saw a pretty great movie, and that movie is The Wall. And I've been wanting to see this for a while, and I won't get a review out, so the movie will be on
Which one was it, did you see?
The Wall, with John Cena and Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Yes.
And I really want to see it. I thought the movie was great, and it's one of my favorite movies so far right now, this year. The worst thing I could say, though, is I hated the ending. I've heard this from so many people. The way they did this ending was the biggest what the F. And this is also coming from the guy who loved my number 2 favorite movie, 2014, Edge of Tomorrow. So it's a little shocking from the guy who made that. But anyway, go ahead.
I have not seen the movie yet, but I have seen the ending of the film with absolutely no context.
Really?
Yeah, because when I work in the movie theater, sometimes they have us stand inside the theater to wait till it's over.
Yeah.
And we had issues with this movie at our theater where it was like delayed by 10 minutes on the schedule for cleaning the theater. So I've seen the ending multiple times with absolutely zero context with the rest of the film.
Yeah.
So I don't know why it's, but you're not the first person I've heard say that people were leaving the theater what the heck was that?
Yeah. All right. So Matt is here finally. It's the first time he's on video too. And he is so yesterday, if you watched the fight, it looked like he was reenacting the scene from Fast and Furious 8, one of my favorite movies. But he's in the back of the locker room.
Hold on. It's the perfect spot. So you don't have to repeat every single word you said, including the opening, because I heard none of it.
Okay. Well, he is in the Fast and Furious right now in the soccer scene, so he's probably going to kick somebody in the TJ for the very bad wind. But going into when we get Matt ready, we will do that. But
I'm ready.
anyway, so Matt, how does it feel being in the back of Fast and Furious 8 soccer scene? And are you going to kick somebody in the TJ?
Well, I kicked somebody in Tay probably, but it was an honor, I guess you could say. Sure, why not?
For those watching, this is also the first time we have Matt on camera. So yay for technology! You had to be on my phone for a long time.
Yay for the park.
I was going to say, you were the one that didn't like 7, right?
Yeah, I am the one.
Okay, did you like 8 more than 7? Just because you brought up Fast and Furious.
Yes.
Okay, you liked 8 more than 7. Okay.
Yes. For those who don't know, Matt is one who does not like movie. I actually like more than 8. Matt does not like Furious 7. So
see, I agree. Yeah.
Good man.
No, I
too
thought
messy.
7 was better than 8. I
picked
thought
the
7
wrong
was better than 8.
co-host for today. I'm just kidding. There's something I need to address. And for those who are watching, the fight yesterday with Evan and Matt was a good fight. Aaron, have you watched the fight yet?
I have not, but go ahead and spoil it for me.
So Matt won, which was kind of what a lot of people expecting. It was closer than we thought it would be.
I've seen Evan Schmodown record. I'm not surprised anymore.
He's better at this than the Schmodown. So
I've heard.
And from somebody who is really good at movie trivia and sucks at this, that's saying a lot. So here's the thing. I got a lot of messages last night from a lot of people, and Harloff and Doman both have had very controversial things. One including Matt Beer, and that is the Matt Kearns-Matt Beer fight, which kind of scarred Matt in ways where he will never play Kearns again, he has said. Here's the thing. It happens, and it happens to a lot of it, and it's a part of the game. It's a part of judging. That question was really hard, and it was Evolving Spider-Man Homecoming. And it was a very tough match, but it was a very good match. But starting now, Evan has unfortunately left due to helping out with Take 3, which he's already a busy guy. But we want to thank Evan, first off, for being a part of this and helping us to make it to the way it is. We wouldn't be here without him. But people were asking me, so me and Matt talked about this, and we are going to be starting doing kind of a Schmodown where we bring on a Ken and a John kind of just to help me out. So what we're going to do is we're going to split questions. And one of those guys who's going to be joining us on the staff here, also a big announcement coming up later in the show with him as well, and that is Mr. Aaron. He will be the Ken Knapsack, the humor, but also helping me host and judge matches. And this is to make it more fair, but to make it more judging, because it'd be nice to have another guy on my left. Matt has already said that he just does not have the time, and he's more working behind the scenes with me, and he is taking over Evan's position. So congratulations, first off, to both of you for being a part of this. And this goes off to anybody. This is going to be fun. So I am going to go ahead, and this is on the leak so you guys can watch this. I am going to put up an open suggestion. Give me your best commentary track on a video. Send it to me, and whoever we think is the best person will get the spot for the third, and we will probably start him off. Now, Aaron, I think, will start possibly this week. I think we're going to try to get him started for the Internerda match, and he will host the match versus me versus Lucas, and he will also be a part of the #1 contenders match between Matt Beer and Mr. Aaron Turner. So besides that and all that, guys, congratulations on both of your promotions. One for getting hired, one for Bernie. What's up?
I have one question.
Yeah.
You said I am the Ken Knapsack of this.
Yeah.
Does that mean I have to hate myself too?
No.
Yes.
Because Matt already is our Ken Knapsack in life because he already hates most of his life. He lives in Indiana. So I live in Nebraska, but it's going to be a lot easier too, folks, because in the fall, me and Matt are moving to LA. So together, and we'll have so it'll be a lot easier for also Chris and Matt on movies. So, but besides that, we'll get into another big announcement later. But Matt, you have the news, correct?
No.
Okay. Well, because I no, so we're kind of off.
All right.
So due to
Somebody
something,
start Googling.
I'm going to have Aaron do the news tonight. And Aaron, first off, will you please make a comment on Wonder Woman? A smart-ass comment, because I feel like this is what we all need. Wonder Woman is at 96%. And to
Is
a
it
lot
really?
of people, yes, it is. And
Holy
to
shit,
a lot
I'm
of
fact-checking
people,
this.
it has been overwhelmingly positive the last time I checked. And
It's
this is a
at
big thing,
97%. It's at 97.
which is even higher than Logan. And that is the best movie so far this year.
Which I agree.
And Matt says it's the greatest comic book movie ever made. So right now,
Close.
I still think that we'll get into that debate because we're going to do a little debate too right after this because Matt Beer still thinks Logan is better than The Dark Knight. And so we're going to have a little debate on what's the greatest one right after this because I want to hear this. But first off, Wonder Woman. Like, it's the first positive movie in the past 3 DCEU films. And we're going to get into these. Tonight is a DC-packed show, and it has to be because it's DC. And it's hard to do this. But Wonder Woman, Matt, because you are my co-host, what do you think about this, man? I mean, this is the first positive one.
Yeah, I just think critics don't want to get more hate from people that are stupid and have nothing to do. So they're probably like, yeah, let's just say it's great, but really they don't like it. No, seriously, it just increases my excitement for the movie. So
Great. It might be like next to Logan. It might be my favorite movie of the year. Like right behind Logan. And
we'll see.
I mean, that's hard. But Aaron, what's your thoughts on this?
Well, first off, the fact that it is so high. I'm gonna double check quickly. I just want to see how many reviews it has because that can affect how much it goes down.
Yeah.
Because I do think it will go down. It's not going to stay up that high.
No,
but
if I have to say right now, I think it would be like 80. I'm going to guess right now. We could bet on this. Matt, do you want to do a bet on this?
No.
Okay, I'm going to guess
I'll
right
pull
now.
up- I'll pull up the number of
talk about
reviewers.
this next week. I think it's going to make 90 million, and I think it's going to be 90% to 89 for Rotten Tomatoes. I do think it's
all
going to
right,
be that.
just for a reference, right now it has 70 reviews, and from every movie I've looked at, the average number of reviews falls between 250 and 300. So it's at 70 right now.
Okay, that's
All
good.
right.
There's a lot of opinion to go in there, but overall, I think it's really good because there are a lot of people who love Man of Steel, but the fact is, critically speaking, if we're just putting this into a big piling together, which is what Rotten Tomatoes really is, your best reception of the DCEU, the DC universe is, and Steele's reaction. There's some people there's some people who don't like it, some people who really love it. I think it's good buzz overall for the universe if this is good, and I think this movie having such a high score is going to put just a little bit more faith in the universe, especially since this universe has had a lot of behind the scenes issues that we cannot ignore.
Yeah.
Single movie so
Right.
far, except I think the only one without a major production issue was Aquaman so far. Every single movie has had one so far. So the fact
We're
that
going into Aquaman, which this came out today, but we'll say this real quick. I'm just going to go ahead and get this out of the way because we'll talk about how to fix the DCEU later. Raise your hand if you loved Man of Steel. I'm going to raise it. Raise your hand if you liked it. Raise your hand.
it's all right. It's all right.
Raise your hand if you did not like it.
I wouldn't say that.
So let's go into BVS. Raise
The
your
guy
hand.
over there raised his hand. It's like, I don't like
Okay.
man.
Raise your
Like,
hand
fuck
if
that
you
movie.
thought BVS was very underrated and you thought it was great.
Oh, you're not gonna like me.
And if you thought it was not good. Do it again.
Yeah.
Raise your hand if you thought it was good. Let's just do that first.
It's
Aaron, did you
average.
raise your hand
No.
if you thought it was
No.
not good.
Not good is not how I look at it this way. BVS was in my bottom 10 of that year. I don't know if not good is the way I would describe that.
And I'm just going to say this right now. Raise your hand if you thought Suicide – Matt's going to probably die. Raise your hand if you thought Suicide Squad was good. And I'm – nope.
No, it wasn't good.
Raise your hand if you thought it sucked.
It was better than BVS, but it was
Raise
not
your
good.
hand if you thought it was bad and you changed your grade because every time you watched it, it got worse. And as somebody who really enjoys the first 2 DC movies, and we're going to talk about this. I did not like Suicide Squad.
Mhm.
So I think I'm going to love the movie. Everyone says
Trust me.
So yeah.
I did not like Suicide Squad, but BVS was worse in my opinion. BVS was so much worse.
Okay, so this is going to be a question for Matt, and this is a question for Aaron. Knowing me, what would you 50% under or 50% like above or under? Will Chris love Wonder Woman when he sees it, possibly Friday or Thursday? Above or under?
I would say
Over.
Like how many percent? That's the question. That's what I'm wondering.
over 50.
Yeah.
I'd say you would say you have like a 70% chance of liking it because you like 2 out of the 3 films, which means critically speaking, you're positive on the universe and the direction that it's going, and you like BVS, which means you most likely liked Wonder Woman in the movie, so that's already a little bit of positiveness going in.
That was one of my best parts of the movie, though. Matt, knowing me as much as
she was good,
because I have to defend some of these movies against Matt. So Matt, knowing me, and you probably are my best friend. What do you think?
I would love, just as a joke, for you to hate it, but no. In actuality,
I don't think I'm gonna.
That's a cruel joke.
It's pretty much 100%. I can see it now. I'll be home, and I'm gonna get a call from you, be like, "Hey man, I loved it. I thought it was great. Best DC movie. It's a masterpiece."
I don't think it's no. What I'm hearing though is the villain is not the best. The villain might be my only negative. Mark Ellis gave the movie spoils for the review. Gave it a 4.5. I think did Christian give it a 4 or 4.5?
I don't know. I don't watch reviews till I see the movie, unless I know I'm not going to see it right away.
I think I'm going to give it a 4.5. And it just depends. I'll see the movie. It just depends if it's. I'm going to call my friend and see it Thursday if it's going to be sold out. And if it is, I'll go Friday afternoon. If not, I'll go Friday evening. I went and saw Alien that Friday night at 7 o'clock, and it was pretty packed, but everything was sold out. So,
really?
Yeah.
As it should be.
Yeah. It was not. I didn't like it. But okay. Next up, I'm going to go ahead and take care for some of them, and then Eric can go ahead so we can get this out of the way because we've already been going for 18 minutes.
Have we really?
Yeah. Second up, and this is what we need to discuss. James Wan has confirmed this morning with Jeff Johns that Aquaman will take place immediately right after Justice League. Fellas, what are your thoughts on this?
Do you want to go first, Matt, or?
Aaron, you can go first. It'll be okay.
Okay, sure. I don't really have an. This is the first time hearing this news. I don't really have an opinion on it one way or the other until I see Justice League. Because technically speaking, Spider-Man: Homecoming is taking place directly after Captain America's Civil War. There's a lot of ways you can twist this to make it work. I think it's cool that they are at least keeping it in line and they know where their films are within the universe. They at least have that timeline laid out, because that's an issue that I'm scared of with DC, where they're announcing so many movies that I'm scared they don't actually have a plan of what's happening in the universe. So the fact that they have one is good, but until I see Justice League and I see where Jason Momoa and Aquaman's character comes off by the end of the film, that's when I'll make my decision on whether or not that length of time is needed between the start of Aquaman and the end of Justice League.
Okay. Matt, go ahead.
Okay. I mean, I guess it's kind of cool it takes place because it's probably going to make them more money because you have to see Justice League, which everybody's going to see it, but they'll probably want to know.
Yeah.
They're going to want to know what happened since the second Justice League was supposed to be part 2. So I imagine both of those are pretty close. So, people are probably going to be thinking they have to see Aquaman, but I don't really care.
Okay.
I don't think it's surprising.
And one last DC news before we move on to other news, because I got a couple left. Doug Liman has left Justice League Dark, and I'm going to go ahead and say this. I expected it. I didn't expect he's going to stay long. The reason why I'm saying is he has one other movie coming out, and I think I'm more excited for that than I am for Justice League Dark. And that is
that the Chaos Walking or something like that?
No, this is Edge of Tomorrow 2 with Emily Blunt.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that. Okay. Yeah.
That is what I'm more excited for, because that was my second favorite movie that year, and if Birdman didn't come out, that would have been my favorite movie. But let's get into Matt. Matt, what do you think about this?
I mean, it was expected because isn't he technically signed on for Gambit, or did he leave that?
No, he left Gambit.
He left Gambit to do Justice League. Dark.
I don't think he's ready for a superhero movie though.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I mean, this is the trend with DC movies. I think the only director that stayed on with the solo movies was James Wan.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I kind of
Yeah.
expected it because, you know, you had Rick, whatever his last name is, he left.
Famuyiwa.
Ben Affleck, isn't directing Batman anymore, which
Yeah.
it might help it. The Flash, didn't the Flash have like 2 directors?
The
We'll probably have
Flash
another guy
had
leave.
the guy who did Dope and he left.
Okay, so
Flash has gone through a couple directors because,
And writers.
because I know the original draft was written by Lord and Miller, and I believe at one point they were at least rumored to direct, but that never went through because of Han Solo. Then I think it was, I believe his name is Seth Grahame-Smith, the guy who wrote
okay.
the book version of Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, and then he left, and then they had Famuyiwa, and he left as well.
Okay,
And
so yeah.
also, DC has also been dealing with losing cast members as well because we had a Pacific one. I just had him in my mind. He played the blue guy with balls in Watchmen. Billy Crudup.
Yeah. No, he's still on. He's still on.
No, Crudup is still there. He's for the Flash, you mean?
Yeah, I heard that from a rumor he left.
No, they declined that thing fast.
Yeah, that came out about the same time that came out around the same time that they announced Famuyiwa was leaving, and they cleared that up real quick that wasn't true.
Okay, because that was announced recently, I thought. So,
yeah.
Okay, well, let's move on from that. Joseph
That was more
Konosky.
recent.
Okay. Joseph Konosky from Top Gun will be directing Top Gun 2. By the way, it's happening. Yes! I love this movie. So I'm just going to say this right now. Joseph Konosky, who did Tron Legacy and Oblivion, which I did not like either.
Okay.
I'm worried about that. But it's happening. So, and I think that's a big thing. And I'm going to let Aaron go first.
Just quickly, just because I didn't get to say anything about the Justice League Dark story.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Yeah.
No, you're good. To me, it's a non-story. Justice League Dark is a part of the 20 films DC has in development that will probably never get anywhere. So the fact that Lyman left is like saying Gambit's lost another director, which they also lost Doug Lyman. It doesn't matter.
Gambit's not happening, by the way, people. It's not.
That's never gonna happen. But with the you said it's the director of Tron Legacy, right? Is doing Top Gun 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Top Gun's a good movie. It's one of those classic Tom Cruise movies where you look back at his when you look back on his action career, Top Gun's one of those films that comes up.
Yeah.
This has been circling for years. This feels like I'm getting I don't know if this is true or not, but I'm getting a bit of a Jack Reacher 2 vibe from this, where I feel like this is only getting in the way that I feel like it's only getting made because it's Tom Cruise starring and Tom Cruise producing. Jack Reacher 2 would never have gotten made if it was anybody with Tom Cruise in that role. It only got made because
Can we not mention Jack Reacher 2, please? I love Tom Cruise is my second favorite action star next to The Rock. Can we please not mention Jack Reacher 2? That was an abomination. That's
fine. This feels like it's just Tom Cruise pushing for another franchise. The director, I don't know if he's done any other movies, but the two that you mentioned, Oblivion and Tron Legacy, I didn't dislike them, but they were just both very bland, meh sci-fi films. I don't know, just nothing. And even I think the story that was going around for a while was that they were going to do drones and they were going to deal with pilots versus drones and stuff like that. Just everything about this just sounds extremely bland and extremely uninteresting. Will it get made? Probably it will get made. Will it be good? Possibly, but I think this is just going to be one of those disappointing sequels that doesn't need to exist. Because I think even if it is good, you're going to look at this and compare it to the first Top Gun and go, this didn't need to happen.
Matt.
Right. Oh, my thoughts. Okay. I mean, obviously I want to see it. First Top Gun is, really good. But to go back on the Jack Reacher thing, Tom Cruise, I believe, selected the director. I believe he did The Last Samurai.
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did. Ed Zwick.
Yeah, which was a movie starring Tom Cruise. So he's choosing a guy who did Oblivion starring Tom Cruise. That worries me a little bit. But the only thing that I guess still gives me hope is the Justin Hurwitz, I believe is his last name, who wrote The Jungle Book, and he's a very talented writer. He's writing the sequel, so hopefully this director knows what he's doing, doesn't change too much from the script, and we'll have a pretty good movie. Maybe not great per se, but you know, it's a little worrying, but
it could be fun.
Okay. Yeah, you got a point there. And one last thing before we're going to go to break right after this.
Okay.
So Pirates of the Caribbean got 60. The reason why I'm talking about this weekend is because, Aaron, I'm going to have you look up the Memorial Day weekends all time, because this apparently was the worst Memorial weekend.
Yes, I've heard this.
Years. Baywatch struggled, which a movie I liked. Matt did not. For the, like 18 million. Alien dropped like 70%, and then Pirates didn't do a lot. Like people thought maybe it would have gotten over 100 million, which, by the way, let's just say Pirates is not happening. Pirates is not going to make over $1 billion. I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's not. But saying this is the worst box office Memorial Day in a long time, in 20 years, Matt, what are your thoughts on this?
To go back on the Pirates thing, I think there's still a chance. It's already made $364 million. Which is probably lower than the first one.
Pirates box office, though, for opening.
But, I mean, did it open in all its markets, or are there some big markets missing? Because if it didn't open in China, I don't know. But if it didn't release in China or some of the other big places, then there's a chance that could hit $1 billion. Because Transformers, the last one made, I think, 200 million or 270, somewhere around there. And it made $1 billion because it made, like, 500 million in China alone, it seems like. So there's a chance it could. Yeah. So yeah, and I mean, there's a chance. And didn't it open higher than Fast and Furious, or no?
Fate was high.
Okay.
Overall, Fate is still the highest of all time, like everywhere, like overseas and here. And
I'm talking here.
Oh, here?
Are you comparing Pirates to Fate of the Furious?
Yeah.
Box office wise, opening weekend,
Fate of the Furious opened to, I believe, roughly 100 million. The numbers I'm looking at on Box Office Mojo estimate in the 4-day weekend in the 3-day weekend, Pirates opened to 62 million. In the 4-day, it did 78. So it's about 20 million, 30 million under Fate of the Furious.
Which Pirates is great. Pirates is a very great movie. The new one was great. I had a blast with it. There's problems. Jack Sparrow cannot. It's just a humor, like Matt said. Jack Sparrow is he's just being the clown. But Aaron, what did you think on this? And have you looked at the Memorial Day weekends to see what were like the big ones?
Yeah, I'm trying. I'm doing this research now to try and see if I can find some other Memorial Day box office ones. It doesn't surprise me. I mean, I remember reading a headline last year that said Memorial Day box office not good. It's Memorial Day it doesn't seem to be that big box office. It doesn't seem like holidays are doing the big box office draw.
Here's the thing. It used to be this big thing. And it used to be hey, it's a Memorial Day, like Saving Private Ryan and Pearl Harbor. But, I mean, like, Memorial Day weekend was supposed to be a big event. Now it just feels like it's not that anymore for movies.
Yeah, but we didn't have any, like, war-type movies open nationwide or worldwide on Memorial Day, which if we did, it probably would have done a lot better. Like, the only war-like movie was War Machine, and that came out on Netflix. But, I mean...
How was that?
I didn't watch it all yet.
Okay.
I'll probably watch it tonight.
I've not seen it yet.
I've
heard it's fine.
I've heard it's
okay.
I liked some of it. So.
Yeah, I watched the first 40 minutes, and I had a good time with it. You know, Brad Pitt made me laugh a lot, and he was, really good in the role, of course. But I need to watch the rest. Maybe the last hour, 20 minutes is where it falls apart. But
okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, Aaron, did you have anything from the Memorial Day before we go to break?
Yeah, it's to be expected. I was just reading. I'll pull it back up again just to compare it to the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Obviously, Pirates in the 3-day, at least this year, Pirates debuted with $62 million, I believe it was. I literally just read it. just for some comparison numbers, this is by far the weakest opening for any Pirates of the Caribbean movie. All of the previous all the previous three, the sequels, have opened between 90 million and 136 million. So this is by far the weakest of the sequels. And just to compare the topping number, last year X-Men Apocalypse was the big blockbuster that opened on Memorial Day. That did 79.8. And then the year before, Tomorrowland was the big one, which only did 42.7. So it did a bit better than that. And
so
then,
my question for you is, if you're looking at the 2000s to then, and say the last 20 years, so we'll say to 97, what were the big movies that year?
I'm still trying to look.
Okay. All right. Well,
now is Han?
What? Go ahead, Matt.
Is Han Solo opening up on Memorial Day weekend, or is that like a week?
Yes,
before?
It is. That would be Memorial Day.
Okay,
weekend.
so yeah.
Yes, I do
so
think
next
year is gonna be better.
Yeah,
so yeah,
and
I
episode
think,
9 the year after.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think the next 2 years are going to be monsters, as far as Memorial Day numbers go. They may be the biggest.
I think it's just they aren't putting great movies on Memorial Day weekend. I mean, if I look at just without finding the long list, just the last 2-3 years, your big blockbusters are Pirates, which is not getting the greatest reviews, X-Men Apocalypse, which was a bad movie, and then you have Tomorrowland, which was extremely disappointing for what it could have been. So I think it's just a matter of finding the right movie to open on Memorial Day. Like you said, next year's Star Wars, that's going to do gangbusters. The year after,
it might compare with 4th of July, because what's the biggest thing in the summer for movies? It's 4th of July, and what comes out that week of 4th of July?
Spider-Man.
And
that's going to be big.
That's going to be huge. And it's also Marvel. And if you look at the past couple of years of 4th of July, what did we get? Last year, what did we get?
I know 2015 was Genesis and Magic Mike.
2015 and 2014 were like a big 2015, 2013 were a big bomb, because we had, except for one. We had We had Despicable Me 2, and we had The Lone Ranger. So
yeah,
the biggest bomb then was The Lone Ranger and Genesis. So besides that, guys, we're going to go to break. When we get back, we are going to have the debate. And this is going to start off, and then we're going to get into Wonder Woman, because I need to go to the bathroom. So when we get back, we are going to have a debate of the greatest comic book movie of all time, and we will do that. We will be right back. Chris and Matt on movies.
All right.
If you guys need to do anything real quick, you guys can go ahead and do that.
All right.
All right. Welcome back to Chris and Matt on Movies. I am Chris. And Matt is over here, and I will wait to see what Matt says. All right, guys. Well, there you are back. So welcome back, Chris and Matt on Movies. I am Chris, and Matt will probably say his name when he's back on camera. All right, so this is going to be a little fun. About 8 o'clock, so we got about 30 minutes. So we're going to do a little discussion, then we're going to get into the DCEU and Wonder Woman. Matt is going to...
Oh, I just wanted to...
What?
Sorry,
Yep.
just to throw back to what we were talking about right before the break, I was able to find some comparison numbers for that box office to give you an idea of how bad it was.
Okay.
Without adjusting for inflation, this last Memorial Day weekend was the worst weekend since 1999, in which the total for this weekend was 172. In 99, it was 142.5, and that was Episode 1's second weekend.
Jesus Christ.
If we adjust for inflation, it would go back to 1991, in which Backdraft opened, and the whole weekend was 144.
Okay. Well, that is pretty big. I don't know where Matt went, but he'll come back soon. This is going to be fun. So, getting into this, we got comic book movies coming out. This is probably, hopefully, going to be the year of comic book movies in the summer because these last couple of years haven't really been a big comic. I would say since 2012, we haven't really had an amazing comic book movie season because we had.
No, I would say.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Finish. No, finish. Sorry.
I'm going to take that back, and Matt's going to come back here. We lost him for a second, but I would say since 2014.
I was gonna say 2014 was pretty good because that had Days of Future Past, Big Hero 6, Winter Soldier, and there was one more.
Yeah, Guardians.
Wow, how did I forget that?
Yeah.
And then Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Turtles. Fuck that movie. So this is gonna be fun. So before we do this, before we get into the DCEU discussion, Wonder Woman, I thought we'd do a debate. Now the reason is because these guys were kind of going at it for one movie. So we're gonna have we're gonna kind of do a fight, but I'm not gonna time anybody. So we're just gonna say until I say we've had enough talking. But we're gonna have a debate. So the debate is what is the greatest comic book movie of all time, and I'm gonna let the first person that gets it gets it. So when I say 3, 2, 1, you guys call it, and we will start with that. So you guys ready?
Yep.
Okay. And a 3, and a 2, a 1.5, a 1, go.
Logan.
Captain America: Winter Soldier.
Oh!
Yeah, here's a really early shock opinion from me. I think The Dark Knight is extremely overrated. I think Batman Begins is better than The Dark Knight.
Absolutely. Batman Begins is the best in the entire
You know what?
trilogy by far.
Okay.
You know what?
I'm arguing.
Fuck it. I'm getting no. Fuck it. I'm getting in this debate.
Okay. I just want to say, The Dark Knight is a really, really good movie with a really, really great villain that overshadows the rest of the film.
We're gonna get hold on. We're gonna get into that. But I'm joining in.
All right.
I'm joining in this debate. I'm
more fun.
I'm joining. I have The Dark Knight.
Yeah, you're only joining because he didn't choose The Dark Knight.
Did you?
No,
Yeah.
I'm joining because the reason why I'm joining is because he thinks The Dark Knight's overrated, and I want to go against.
Oh.
So okay, so gentlemen, I'll go last because I am a gentleman, but this is who wants to go first. So I will pick a number between 1 and 10, and the first person that gets it gets to decide if they want to go first or second. Go ahead, guys.
Okay. I mean, I can go second. I don't care.
Oh, just so somebody pick one. All right, Aaron, go first.
Okay.
Pick your first.
8.
Matt.
I'll go 0.
Matt had it. It was 5. So, which is Matt's ranking below me?
Isn't 8 closer to 5?
You went over, so if that's what he's doing.
Yes, you did go. You did go over.
Okay, all right, that's fine.
All right, Matt. Please explain. Would you guys say Logan's the best movie right now? Right?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
So please, Matt, describe what Logan is the greatest, which we all love, by the way, the greatest comic movie of all time.
This is what Movie Fights is about.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is what Movie Fights is about. Look, this is a movie that does everything about as perfect as you can in a comic book movie. A great villain, a great story that is very relevant to what we're experiencing today. You also have the best performances maybe in comic book movies as far as the hero goes, with Patrick Stewart and also Hugh Jackman. You have a great, score that carries the story along and elevates it as well. Great script, great dialogue. This is a real brutal movie that needed to be, and also it doesn't use those gimmicks like like the F-bombs and the blood and gore, as
it does have a
joke.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just it does everything pretty much perfect, in my opinion.
Okay. We'll go,
for a comic movie.
By the
It's
way,
not
guys, right after we get into this debate, which each of us are going to decide and we get the vote, we're going to do the worst. So look forward to that. That's going to come up. That's going to be fun. So, by the way, I call Fan Stick. I'm just saying that right now.
That's fine.
I mean, you could take it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's cool.
That is the worst comic book movie I've ever seen. So, Aaron, would you like to go second, or would you like me to go second? It's up to you.
I'll go now.
All right.
Okay. Go.
The reason that, in my opinion, Captain America: Winter Soldier is the best comic book movie ever made is because I think out of every comic book film ever made, it is not only a great film within the universe that it is a part of, but it is a great film on its own. One of the things that I judge genre movies by, especially these franchise films with the story, is if you remove the comic book element from this movie, does it still make a great movie? And I don't mean within the powers and stuff, I just mean within the story. Captain America is an extremely smart, well-acted, well-directed, well-written political thriller that just happens to star Captain America. It is a great solo film. It is a great movie that you can watch on its own, but it also fits extremely well within the universe that it's in, including bringing some extremely deep-cut characters into that film. And I just think overall it works the best. And the other fact is it was directed by two guys who people had pretty much no faith in just based on their comedic background. They didn't have faith that they could pull this off. And the fact that they did to such an extreme extent is what I think makes it the best comic book film.
Okay. The reason why I think The Dark Knight is the greatest comic book film of all time is that...
Because everybody says.
Fuck you. Let me talk.
Okay, can we address the real elephant in the room here? No one said Avengers.
Yeah, that's my third.
That is my fourth.
We'll talk about that later.
We'll talk about that after we're going to vote who we think personally. But here, look, I'm going to say a story real quick before we get into it. My parents did not let me watch this when this movie first came out because I was raised in a Christian household. But I'm not Christian anymore. But here's the thing. When I watched movies, I grew up watching comic book movies. And I grew up loving some, especially one, Spider-Man 2. And then I saw The Dark Knight. And for some reason, it changed my aspect on comic book films because for a lot of people, I think if you did not have The Dark Knight, I kind of don't think you would have had Logan. It's like saying Deadpool to Logan. But here's the thing why I say we wouldn't have Logan and you wouldn't have The Winter Soldier, because it went completely dark, but it also brought a different genre. And that's the reason why. To bring a crime drama and to make a movie, I still think to this day, and I'm probably going to watch it because Wonder Woman's coming out. And it's in my top 10 all the time. Because, moving that out of the way, it's because this movie changed comic book films. There was never a movie in a comic book film that ever made $1 billion. The first movie that ever made $1 billion at the box office, mind you. No, I wouldn't say the first comic book movie that made that. And I think it's because not only has the best villain, we can all agree, best villain in a film, comic book movie, I think ever. Film-wise, it's debatable. But comic book-wise, the Heath Ledger's The Joker is probably still the greatest comic book villain of all time. And not just that, but you have a very emotional story involving a triangle that actually works with Rachel, Bruce, and Harvey. Harvey Dent's trying to become, it's like life, but Harvey Dent is also trying to kind of readjust and kind of bring justice to Gotham because the movie is basically about how far can a man take the punches when you have anarchy, everything else, all shit is going around you. And it kind of reminds me a lot of today. how much can we take? And it's to me as a but going in, why is it the greatest comic movie? It's able to take the punches, it's able to take the risks, and not only just have a great movie, it has a great performance, and it has a great standard and a great movie that just never feels mesh. And Logan never feels drags at all. Captain America: The Winter Soldier never drags at all. But going into that, that's what I think it's the greatest comic book film of all time. So going into this, we're going to give our problems, and then we're each going to give a vote. And if we need to do a tiebreaker, we'll do a tiebreaker. But, I mean, heads or tails for this before we get into the worst. Who wants to start? Actually, fuck it. I'm going to start. I went last. I'm starting first. Fuck.
Fine. Fucker.
I went last. I'm starting first. Aaron, I love The Winter Soldier. I do. And before Logan, it was my second favorite comic book movie. It's still my favorite MCU film thus far. The reason why I don't think it's perfect, but I do think it's an incredible. To me, it's a brother story. But it's about Broken Brothers. But the one thing I have was that one scene. To this day, I still think the movie's perfect. There's one. No, I mean it's excellent. It's not perfect. It's still 5 out of 5. But that one scene, when the first time I saw it, before I saw Civil War, where it didn't make sense to me, was when they see the computer scene. If you took that out, and I don't think you needed that, I think the movie would have been perfect. But I think it's just that one scene. While Logan is very hard to fight, but Matt, I'm going to say this: if we didn't have The Dark Knight, we wouldn't have Logan. It's kind of that.
Yeah, we would.
But not like the way it went. This was a movie about characters and didn't have to be rated.
So you think if The Dark Knight didn't exist, Logan would be something where everybody would be skipping, jumping, happy story. No. Okay, let's not act like The Dark Knight is the first comic book related thing.
Let's eliminate this argument of if this hadn't happened, then this and this wouldn't have happened, because let's all be real here. If Batman Begins had to have happened, The Dark Knight wouldn't have happened.
Exactly.
If Batman and Robin hadn't happened, the Batman Begins wouldn't have happened, which meant The Dark Knight wouldn't have happened. We can go on and on and on for ages with this type of argument of these decisions led to this type of a film, which led to this type of a film. We can go on and on with this argument. It doesn't mean that your movie's necessarily better. I mean, for all we know, Transformers is an awful film. They make $1 billion a piece. They set an idea of how filmmakers want to make their movie because they make money. If The Dark Knight was god-awful but still made $1 billion, they would have still followed that trend. So I don't think that's a valid argument of this led to this, because the fact is, this happened because The Dark Knight just happened to make $1 billion. It made money.
Yeah, and
also, again, I will contend with The Dark Knight. It is a very, very good average film with an amazing villain. I will not argue the fact that Heath Ledger is the best comic book villain on screen of all time. But the fact is, I think he overshadows the rest of that movie. I think Christian Bale is good. I think most of the supporting cast is good. I think the whole third act on that movie, especially the Harvey Dent storyline, in my opinion, is done extremely sloppily. Harvey Dent is an amazing villain from the comics that they shoved into the last 20 minutes of film and then pushed him off a building.
He's not supposed to be this big villain at first. He's supposed to try. I liked what they did because they brought him to this kind of story where they brought him to kind of being like Batman inspired him. I think they handled that very, very well. I don't think
they just basically went, oh, hey, Harvey Dent's in a movie. Let's make him Two-Face 20 minutes. It's a disservice to the character because we don't get to see him have his full movie where he can be on screen for like an hour as Two-Face. He's in it for like 20 minutes, like Aaron said. Also, take out the Joker and Heath Ledger in this movie, nobody would be calling it the greatest comic book movie of all time. You would have a very good comic book movie, and that's about it.
So
then you would be saying...
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, what? No, I was pretty much done with that point. But what?
So tell me why you think Logan's the greatest, because I keep hearing Hugh Jackman. And this is saying to you, Eric. I keep hearing Hugh Jackman. I keep hearing the Daph Keen. I keep hearing Patrick Stewart. Why does this movie is the greatest of all time?
Okay, let's take it, compare one point to the other in your movie. Better performance of the main character, Hugh Jackman as Logan or Christian Bale's Batman? Hugh Jackman gives a better performance. All right, who's better as the old guy in the movie per se? Patrick Stewart as Professor X, or I can't remember his name. I see his face in there as Alfred.
Patrick Stewart does a better performance. Don't you dare say Michael Caine.
Michael Caine. Patrick Stewart gave a better performance, and here's the reason why. Nobody was saying Michael Caine should be considered for best supporting actor. People are doing that with Patrick Stewart already, and it's March, even though we have many other movies come out later in the year. What has a better overall story that can keep you interested? Logan does. I'll give you one thing. The villain is better in The Dark Knight than in Logan, but that's about it. And maybe the score I would say is better too. But other than that, the Logan does everything better. It can keep you interested. It's more emotional than The Dark Knight for sure. Literally, you have grown men crying in that movie. You have grown men crying.
Point I'll agree
with. You have grown men crying. All right.
Logan is more emotional. Logan is more emotional and is a more emotional film than the other two, just simply because Hugh Jackman had been that character for 17 years. If you take away the fact that Hugh Jackman and Patrick Stewart had been at it that long, that film is really not as emotional as people think it is. It's not written to be that emotional.
Yeah, it would, because of how they handled it with the death. We've seen the characters on screen for a while, but how they handled the death, you would be emotional. I mean, you could recast the characters when First Class happened. Hell, you could be like, okay, James McAvoy is going to be playing Professor X in this movie, and some new guy like Tom Hardy is going to be playing Logan in the movie.
Right, and I think if you did that, I don't think the writing is strong enough to where you'd still feel that same emotion. You feel that emotion because you have been associated with these actors and these characters for so long that it's literally seeing a franchise come to an end, and that's what makes you emotional. It's not in the writing of the script.
Okay. But it also helps because of the performances in the movie. If they weren't like incredible performances, Oscar-worthy performances, some would say, then it wouldn't be as emotional, but it's because of the performance. If they didn't try that hard with the movie, it wouldn't be as emotional. But they did so good.
I'm going to stop right here. Final arguments, and then I'm actually going to do this real quick before we get into worse. I'm going to let the fans decide. So I'm going to put up a poll. You can fill it out who you think gave the best arguments. So I'm going to let Aaron go first, because I didn't hear enough, and then I'm going to get Matt go first, and then I will go first. And then we will get into worst. I think we're going to try to do worst for 5 minutes because we need to kind of leave a little room for DC. So go ahead, Aaron.
Okay. The argument, The Dark Knight and Logan both suffer from the same issue. I think both of them have good first and second acts, and both of them have extremely weak third acts. I'm sorry, but in The Dark Knight, I thought the Two-Face character was handled very poorly. I thought Harvey Dent was handled well, but I thought the transition from Harvey Dent into Two-Face was not handled very well. And I think the fact that they took a major comic book character and just kind of flung him off a roof and said, that's that, when Harvey Dent is one of the most tragic characters in comic book history, that is a disservice to the character, and it is a mishandlement of the character on Chris Nolan's part. With Logan, good and engaging first and second act, but once the movie hits the third act, it gets extremely bloated very quickly. You have 30 kids in that film. It feels like 30 kids in that movie, and all of them have very, bland powers, and they don't really add anything to the plot. It feels like they were just throwing in a big group to throw in a big group. The Wolverine clone was a very bad idea, in my opinion. I think you could have done something else, something different, because the fact is we already have a Wolverine clone in the movie, and that is Laura. You don't need another Wolverine clone on screen. And, it just, to me at least, I didn't think it was as strong as it could be. I think The Winter Soldier is the best comic book movie because it's both a great comic book film and a great movie. It's well made, it's well written, it's well acted all around. And unlike the other two movies, in my opinion, it does not fall apart in the third act. The plot continues. The story, the action is great. All the characters are involved in the action. Chris, I will give you that computer scene to this day is still one of the weirdest choices I've ever seen for a movie. But the fact that you had one argument against my film does not mean it disqualifies it from being the best. That one scene does not ruin an entire film more than an entire acting, poorly written, handled character ruins that Dark Knight film.
Okay. Go ahead, Matt.
Okay. To me, like I said, Dark Knight's a very good movie. I think pretty much everybody can agree it's a very good movie. But here's the thing. Take out the Joker, nobody would be calling it the greatest movie of all time. It's, comic book movie. It's just a really good, movie, comic book movie wise, that does disservice some of the characters in the movie, and it feels forced at times. And like Aaron said, the third act is not that great. It's actually kind of weak and disappointed me, and it's not even the best Batman movie ever made. With Captain America: The Winter Soldier, yeah, it's a great movie. I'll say it's my second favorite comic book movie of all time. But with the third act, if we're going to get into that, it's predictable. We see where things are going to go. We know that Nick Fury's still alive, so there's that predictability. When he gets killed, obviously he's going to be alive. We know that that Captain America's going to get out and he's going to survive. And we know Bucky's going to eventually start to become good again. But with Logan, it's pretty much a perfect movie in my eyes. Is it the greatest movie ever made? No, it's not. But it's a perfect comic book movie with a third act that is different than pretty much any comic book movie of all time. You don't know at times if Wolverine's going to survive. I mean, we assume it because Hugh Jackman's done, but we're not like, oh, he's dead. He's going to die at the end. Hell, my mom got out of the movie. She's like, I thought he was going to join the kids and they were going to go to Canada. It's a very relevant movie at this time. Great performances, better performances by Hugh Jackman and Patrick Stewart than anybody in the other two movies listed. The score elevates the movie to me. That's why Logan is the greatest comic book movie of all time.
You said the score? Okay, so the score to me, The Dark Knight. To me, The Dark Knight so is the greatest score in the comic book movie. I will just point that out.
Yeah. That's what I said.
That I love about The Dark Knight. And The Dark Knight, it's about not only does it have probably one of the greatest, I would say in the top 5 greatest performances of all time from Heath Ledger. But to me, it's about the moments that count. Yes, the movie, I will admit, you guys are kind of right. Look, it's over the place at times, but to me, it's about the moments. And that's what I'm going to end it here. Some of the scenes in Logan were amazing, and there's some big scenes. And also Winter Soldier, like the scene where you go, then finish it because I'm with you to the end of the line. Or Logan, he's like, it's not your fault. But to me, the best scene still in a comic book movie ever is the scene where right after, spoilers for The Dark Knight, but it's like saying spoilers for watching Star Wars because you've never seen Star Wars. It's the scene where after Rachel dies. Bruce is over here. He's just, and it's real to me because like Logan, I've had problems in my personal life. My personal life has gone to shit at times. I've had personal family problems. I have things like that. But there's a point and a reason where the scene where right after Rachel dies, Bruce is wondering, is this really worth it? Is it worth losing everything that you have for one thing? Why is evil always win? And this is also a movie to talk about comic book, because what's the movie about comic book movies are about heroes and villains. And the scene in that where he goes, is like, I wanted her to be with me. It's about just how this character, and it's not only that, but The Dark Knight is a movie about changing the game. But this scene is about how far can somebody go to make you know that it's going to be okay, but things can hit you and can punch you in the ass or kick you in the ass or punch you in the gut, but things are going to be okay. That still was the greatest scene in the comic movie. The Dark Knight as a whole, Logan is amazing. Winter Soldier is amazing, but if you look at what is the movie that set things for comic book movies and help people, inspire people to go into, people are going to look at The Dark Knight. So that's going to end it there. That's going to end the debate. I kind of wanted to do worst movies. So let's go ahead and I'm going to put 5 minutes and we'll do that. But here's what I'm going to do. So if you guys do not follow me, go follow Fan Movie Fights on Facebook. It's a public group. Aaron, would you be doing me the honors of putting that on the group and say, so we all discussed watch the video if you have not. We all discussed what was the greatest comic book movie of all time. So here's your guys' pick. If you have not watched the video, go watch it. Vote for you guys down below, and we will discuss next week who won. And we already have a viewer watching, so hello, viewer. And he left. So
you want me to put the poll up on the Facebook?
Yeah, put a poll up on Facebook and put Aaron, the Winter Soldier, under in the polls, but just say, like, we're going to let you guys vote, and the winner of this vote we'll discuss next week. Matt Logan and Chris, The Dark Knight. So let's get into that, but let's get into the worst comic movies of all time. I'm going to put 5 minutes on the clock after everybody gives their opening arguments, and their final abundance. So as a whole, we're going to let everybody get a turn so we can go ahead and get the DC. I'm going to go ahead for the worst comic movie while Aaron is doing that, and we're also going to do this for worst as well. Matt, I picked Fantastic. What are you picking?
Superman 4, The Quest for Peace.
Okay, Aaron, what are you picking?
I'll go Batman and Robin.
Oh my, that's like the most common choice, man.
So it's Dark Knight. It's the best comic book movie.
Fuck you, man.
Yeah, seriously.
Okay,
Literally.
we're gonna let everybody give their opening argument, and then we're gonna go into 5 minutes. So, and I'll let you know when the 2.5 minutes, because then we're gonna get in front of the bonus. So, because we need to go ahead and get to the DC. But I'm gonna. Is it okay if I go first? Since I was last.
Yeah, of course. Go ahead.
Okay. So here's what I'm gonna say. I remember this movie coming out, and this was my second least favorite movie that came out that year. And I remember sitting in the theater praying to God, because you saw this is the worst Marvel rated movie of all time. When I left this movie, I left so angry. I have never been angry with the comic book movie as much as I have with Fantastic. And look, Superman 4 is atrocious. It's one of them, and Batman and Robin has fun things about it. But Fantastic tried so hard to kind of bring, like we said with The Dark Knight, it tried to be dark, and it fucking failed. It failed. It tried so hard to be so good and so dramatic. It lost the fun. I like Power Rangers, and I'm going to watch it again tonight. By the way, Matt, you're probably happy I'm watching it again tonight. I'm going to try it again. But you have to at least have fun with it. Power Rangers had fun. This movie was so fucking serious. It felt like a fucking soap opera. The villain is one of the worst villains of all time. I still think the worst. I'm surprised, Matt, you didn't choose Suicide Squad. The worst villain of all time in a comic movie still is Enchantress. One of them is Duke. And I cannot say enough. The third act is the worst third act I've ever seen in a movie. I cannot express that. Why the best 14 movie, Fantastic Four movie that's not even a fucking Fantastic Four movie is fucking The Incredibles. They tried so hard. Fox fucked it up. They said, oh, hey, let's just go to rated R. They've succeeded with Logan and Deadpool, but stay the fuck away from Fantastic. I am so sick of hearing the conversation. Oh, it's not bad. The first half is okay. Shut the fuck up. I'm sorry. This movie sucks ass. It tried so hard and it burned it to the fucking ground. And when you're looking for a movie that tries so hard to do this, it tries so hard to be a franchise starter and fails fucking miserably, that's why this movie sucks ass. It's the worst comic movie of all time. And you look at Superman 4, they're all expected, but Fantastic at least fucking tried. I'm done. Matt, go ahead.
Okay. Look. Think of the worst comic book movie ever. It's got to be Superman 4, The Quest for Peace. You, Chris, just said that Miss Dr. Doom in Fantastic was one of the worst of all time. I'm here to argue that Nuclear Man is the worst of all time. Literally, he attacks you with his claws. He claws you. It's stupid. It almost destroyed comic book movies before Batman and Robin came out. I think the only reason why Batman and Robin came out was because Forever did, pretty well. Yeah. But, I mean, even Reeves couldn't act in this movie. It's just, So, yeah.
And by the way,
I'll get into it more later.
3 minutes instead of 5 because we need to get into DC. Aaron, go ahead.
Sorry, I wasn't even thinking. I was focused on putting the poll up. If it'll be quicker, you guys can just go ahead and fight. And
yeah, let's just let us do it. Yeah, that's good idea.
Because I was focusing on putting the poll up.
So I'm going to put 2 minutes on here. Does that seem fair, Matt?
Sure.
Yeah. When you and Aaron, I'm going to have you judge this.
All right, that's fine. This will be good practice.
Go. So I'm going to start off. Okay, Matt. Nuclear Man. Okay, look. Superman 4 we all knew was going to suck ass, and we all knew it sucked. Fantastic tried. It tried to be good. This had good potential. You had somebody who look at his face. You have somebody who came on and said he did a good job with Chronicle. Let's see how he does. Josh Trank is doing a mob movie now because this fucking killed Fox. They had to do.
I mean, he would have done it regardless.
This movie. This movie failed miserably, and it also won. It just. You look at a movie that changed was like. I actually want to try a good movie. I don't know why, but just give a fuck back to Marvel because this killed Fox's ever good chance of making a good PG-13 because what are they all doing now? PG-13. Superman 4, we all know is bad, but without Superman, like Batman Begins was the movie that I was like, Look, we had good movies before Fan4stick. They tried with Fan4stick, it fucking failed.
But here's the thing: when you said it tried, that's one reason why it's worse. Look, like you said Superman 3 sucks. So we all thought Superman 4 was going to suck. No, we didn't. No, we didn't at all. Just because a movie from a franchise, before its sequel does not mean it's going to suck. Hell, let's look at the X-Men movies, for example. Last Stand sucked. First Class, great. So that's nothing. And you're talking about Fan4stick, how it had potential, that's why it sucked stuff, and you said this could be good. If we're going to go talking about, this is going to suck, Fan4stick had a lot of problems on set that were released publicly. We all knew it. Okay, at least Doctor Doom you could kind of laugh at because it's stupid. And that one scene when he first becomes Doctor Doom and he's killing people, that was pretty cool. He's blowing people's heads off.
No, it was not.
That one little glimpse of him walking around, he may not look great, but head blown up, that was pretty cool. With Superman 4, nothing about Nuclear Man was good. There was nothing good at all. At least Michael B. Jordan was okay. Christopher Reeves wasn't even good in Quest for Peace. Nothing was good. You had one or two little bright spots in a messy movie called Fan4stick. Is it great? No. And that's, it's not going to be the PG-13 movies for the, Fox world. Like I said, Fan4stick has some good things.
Let's get into final relevance, and then we'll let him choose. You already had a good franchise. Yes, Superman killed the entire Warner Brothers because it was right before they had Batman. Batman was going really, really good. No, this was before Batman. So they had to do it before, right after they had to have Batman save it. We already had a good, redeeming franchise with X-Men. You had First Class, you had the Wolverine, which I thought was great. The ending, But, and then you had Future Past, which is one of the greatest comic book movies of all time. So you had a good franchise coming up, and this was before Deadpool. They at least were trying to do a good movie, and they fucked it up. Superman 4 killed Superman. We didn't get another Superman movie until 2006. So at least we had a good movie, X-Men. But when you say what's the worst movie ever, it's got to be Fan4stick because they tried so hard to imitate a movie like The Dark Knight, which we all – look, they fucking hate it. But they at least tried – to do something about this where we have, Superman has had good movies right before it. Fantastic Four never had a good movie. And when you say the good movie is The Incredibles and then even count as Fantastic Four, that's saying a lot. Superman 1 is one of the greatest comic movies of all time. So is Superman 2. Before Superman 3, Fantastic Four has been trying for so long. And put their right back to Marvel. I'm so sick of Fox trying so hard to fucking make a good movie. Matt, go ahead.
You're sick of them trying to make a good movie? I mean, that's kind of
Fantastic Four, you know what I mean.
Okay, so here's the thing. For one, it's not even the worst Fantastic Four movie made. Let's go back to the 1994, 84, whatever that was.
It was 94.
Whatever. It's not judging.
It was 94.
Yeah, 94. Nailed it. Yeah, that was the worst Fantastic Four movie ever. That was the worst Fantastic Four movie ever. At least Michael B. Jordan was average in the movie, and Miles Teller, somewhat tried and was okay. But with Superman 4, nothing good came out of it. No good performances. The villain is the worst villain ever. He claws people. That's his thing. He claws people. Ooh, scary. That opening scene where you see him come to Earth, and I believe he's going to rob a bank, if I'm thinking right. Screw you, Train. That thing, that was laughably bad. When they're floating in space fighting, that was laughably bad. This had some of the worst visual effects ever. At least Fan4stick looked good with the visuals, besides maybe one scene with the whole Miles Teller stretch thing, when he's in the forest. Yeah, that didn't look great, but I mean, the visuals were atrocious in Superman 4, and it wasn't because of the time, because the first and second Superman looked better visually than that. Like I said, nothing good in it. The worst comic book villain of all time. Worst fight scenes in any comic book movie of all time. The only thing going, but that's not even close to being as bad as it. So
Okay, Aaron, your turn to judge. Go ahead.
I don't like trains.
Okay, so as a judge, what I'm looking at is we're arguing worst comic book movie ever made.
Yep.
And I will agree. I have seen both of these films, and they are both atrocious movies.
Yep.
At
Yeah.
first, Chris was winning me over because, in my own personal opinion, nothing hurts me more than wasted potential. My worst film of the year so far is The Circle because it had so much potential and it was god awful. When arguing two awful movies, one of the best deciders of which is worse, in my opinion, is who can name more positive points about the other one's movies. Matt gave the Doom hallway scene. Matt gave the Michael B. Jordan performance. Matt gave the Miles Teller performance. Even if you personally disagree with those choices, the fact is Chris did not say one positive thing about Matt's movie, which is why I would have to name Matt the winner of that fight.
I agree. But that probably was
Even
my
if
this isn't a movie fight, yes, but that probably was my best fight.
that would be a good fight. Do you want me to post a poll on that one too?
No.
No, because
No.
He's afraid.
I know I already lost. Okay.
although Chris, I have to say, points for passion, man. You really hate that fucking movie.
It's terrible.
There's one movie I hate more than that, Matt. What is that movie?
Comic book movie?
No, that year.
Oh, of that year.
Oh, that year.
Oh, was it 50 Shades, or did that come out? No, that came out in 2015.
Yeah.
No, that was 50. No, 50 Shades. It would have been. Was it 50 Shades?
Yeah. It was
Yeah, 50 Shades was 20.
That came out the same year.
Oh, yeah, that did. Okay. I was thinking 2014 for some reason.
Just to say, Matt, was that your least favorite movie that year? Fan Forsyth?
Sorry, what?
Was Fan Forsyth your least favorite movie that year?
That year? No.
What was?
I think it was like Bound or Human Centipede 3.
Fuck.
The
Oh, okay.
fuck?
Yeah, no, 50 Shades and Fan Forsyth are in my top 5 least favorite movies of all time. I will say that. Aaron, what was your... Yeah, because my top 5 worst is 7 Pounds, Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close, Legend of Hercules. It's a tie for number 4 between Transformers 4 and... actually, I'm going to take Transformers 4 out. I'm going to put 50 Shades and then Fan Forsyth.
Okay, I was gonna say just because I can throw this around and it's funny. Best Picture nominated, Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close. Just because I can throw. Hold up, I'm trying to double check something.
Don't remind me of the worst day in movie history.
I'm trying to double check something quickly. You guys can keep going because I've been scoring films since 2014. I'm trying to double check my list of 2014 of which one I thought was lower.
Okay.
50 or
So while we're
2015.
doing that, Matt, let's go ahead and preview Wonder Woman. So go ahead.
Okay. Well, before we preview Wonder Woman, I think we should preview what will be the best comic book movie coming out that weekend, depending on how you look at it, Captain Underpants.
Does anybody think this is going to be good? I'm just wondering.
I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be one of those fun
same thing
little
when
movies.
I did not go see Sing in theaters. I still haven't seen it. However, I will watch this online. So, no, I'm not going to see Captain Underpants.
Hey, you don't watch
I don't know.
online.
I don't know. This is a DreamWorks film. I don't remember the last time I liked a DreamWorks movie.
No,
They haven't
Boss
been
I
Baby.
thought the Boss Baby sucked.
Baby
It
was
was-
bad. Home the one before that. That was pretty bad.
Oh, God, yeah, that was horrible.
The last one I can think of that I liked was How to Train Your Dragon 2, and that was like 2014.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like,
What else?
yeah,
Did
none
they
of them have
anything?
hit since then.
They've been very much lacking lately.
Yeah.
Yeah, like nothing's been hitting for me. So that doesn't instill a lot of confidence in me. Also, Kevin Hart doesn't instill a lot of confidence in me. His movies are very iffy. Ed Helms was funny on I just finished watching The Office. Ed Helms is really funny in that. His movies have not
He
been
was.
that great.
Oh, hey,
Yeah, I
you're
mean-
messy. He has made one great movie, and that is The Hangover.
Yeah, The Hangover. But besides that, he has, and even then, I would say he's the least funny of the three in that.
Yeah.
Well, there's also We're the Millers. He was in that for a little bit. I mean, it wasn't a headlining movie,
he
but
was pretty
still.
funny in that.
Yeah.
So he
Matt,
had
don't
that,
you
but-
dare say what I think you're going to say about We Are the Millers.
I like it a lot.
No, I'm talking about a certain
Yeah, I
cast
do.
member.
Oh, your twin?
Yeah.
Yeah, Will
Are you
Poulter's your
talking
twin.
about Steve?
I mean, your twin looks great in Detroit, by the way. And he was
Oh,
also
Poulter.
pretty good.
Will Poulter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I saw him in War Machine.
Aaron, do you think he looks like me?
It's like a spitting image in
Not
War
enough.
Machine.
Not enough to make fun of you for it, but just the ever so slightest, I could see it. Just the
Yeah.
ever so
You
slight.
know what? I think Aaron needs to be a part of this show from now on.
Well,
Like,
I mean, that's like saying that.
I was trying to think of like who's in We're the Miller because I've only seen it once, and I was like, oh yeah, the fucking
I'm going to say this.
Pennyface is.
If I have a very long beard, I look like Ryan Gosling a little bit if I have a beard. If I don't have a beard, I kind of look
Sure.
like Daniel Craig when my hair is really short.
Sure.
But yeah, Matt likes the look. I'm gonna be honest. After watching that Detroit trailer, that's the one thing I'm afraid of is if he's gonna oversell this fucking movie because the performance. And I was at the theater with my friends and they watched this and they will watch Matt do all the Will Poulter shit. He goes, "Hey Chris, it's your twin." I said, "Shut the fuck up."
Yeah, Chris looks great in Detroit, and also, you did a pretty good job in War Machine too. You really sold that
I
war
love how
suit.
Matt thinks I'm Will Poulter, but also, guys, can I just say real quick before we get into Wonder Woman, my film Fear of Blood. Aaron, have you seen that yet?
No.
It hit over 433 million. Not 30 million.
Jesus Christ! Come on,
It hit
Chris.
over 435 views in about 9 days, which makes that the fastest, more than the Target, which took like 14. In my whole career, and I'm very blessed because this movie took 7 years to make story-wise because I tried so hard with this movie, and I wanted to give up at times. Matt helped me produce this movie. I know he's very proud of me for getting this movie done. I cannot thank you guys enough. You guys are the reason why I'm moving to LA and working on features. You guys are the reasons why. I just want to take that moment before we get into Wonder Woman and say thank you to everybody.
Is it on YouTube or where can I see
It
it?
is on YouTube.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, you
I'll
could
have to
say
check
it
that
did
out.
better than Diary of a Wimpy Kid, since they opened the same
Matt
weekend.
saw that, by the way, today. But let's get into
did.
Wonder Woman, guys.
Why does that exist?
I don't know. It's so bad, but I laughed so much in that movie. There's a scene in the
Oh,
woods.
you saw
Same
it?
way I think
I
about
saw it.
Baywatch.
It was so bad.
Okay, so let's get into Wonder Woman and the DCEU. Wonder
Yeah.
Woman. I'm actually really excited for this movie. Now, every trailer has mostly sold me. However, trailers this year haven't really sold me, period. And Matt can agree on this. If you've watched After Collider Talk, that's the pure example. I did not like any of the Power Rangers trailers. I liked one Mummy trailer. And I'm watching Power Rangers again tonight, Matt. But the first time I saw Power Rangers, I was like, it's fine. It's nothing great.
Yeah, it's fine.
I'm
It's
going to try it
fantastic.
again. I'm going to try it. He loves it. Like, that's my thing about me and Fade.
Really?
So,
Oh,
yeah.
You love it. So
I give
Oh, yeah.
Baywatch a 4 out of 5. It's so bad, it's good. But going into Wonder Woman,
hold on. So Rita Repulsa sucking on Krispy Kreme. That's cinematic masterpiece right there.
Hey, I mean, watch her eat that. That was a great product placement, scene right there. That was the best product placement, scene in a movie since Transformers 4 with Mark Wahlberg
I was
drinking
gonna
that.
say,
Bud Light.
no, that is still my favorite product placement scene ever in a movie. I've not laughed that hard ever in a
I
product
never said it was better. I said it was
No, I know.
the best one
I know,
since.
but to me, that is still the greatest thing about that movie. That scene made me die. But I'm
That
going to
was-
say this. With the Hunters coming out, you are going to have a really good product placement in Pizza Hut. That's all I'm going to say. But moving
How
on.
much money are you paying them?
I'm not paying him. No, this is just a scene I wanted to add in the movie because it's supposed to be. It's like my first like really dumb fun action movie, and so I'm like, oh hey, I'm just gonna eat pizza from Pizza Hut and nuke it in my microwave. Let's just put that in the movie, like the scene in Snitch when he turns on the sprinklers for no fucking reason. So, Aaron, if you do not know, I love The Rock. So I think that's.
I can tell. We've had this conversation.
Yes, we have had this conversation. So Wonder Woman, guys.
I think I insulted you in my movie fights match because I down talked.
I think you did do that. We need to know. Me and Aaron needed to have a full-on The Rock versus his favorite action hero movie fight. We need to do that. I think that would be the greatest thing ever.
I sense a movie fight matchup between Aaron and Chris on a all-Rock questions thing. What's the best Rock
I'd have to
performance?
brush up on my tooth fairy then.
Oh, fuck you.
Or you race them at Witch Mountain?
No,
All those great movies.
Okay, so
I
I'm
remember
going to say this. Before we get into Wonder Woman in DC, I'm going to say this. Aaron, who is your favorite action hero, like action star, like ever?
Damn it.
Ever?
Yeah.
Honestly, all jokes aside, it would have to be either Tom Cruise or The Rock because no matter what movie they're in, they can make it fun.
Okay. So here we go. July. 4th of July episode. You versus me. All Tom Cruise. You all Tom Cruise. Me all The Rock.
Should be an American one, shouldn't it?
Fine, we'll do it then. Fine, we're doing it in July though, guys. That is happening.
Fine.
Special fight.
All right.
And all the way, I have to say this real quick. 4th of July, we're doing it in American fights. But here's the thing.
I came up with it.
So before we get into Wonder Woman in DC, which is going to go really quick.
Yeah.
We're having the very first, a long time ago, I mentioned this idea, and it's finally happening. 4th of July is probably one of the greatest, it's probably one of my favorite holidays ever. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a drunk American fight. So this is the very first ever drunk fan fight.
I'll be there to watch.
Matt doesn't drink.
Can I just watch?
Yeah, Matt
I'll
does
watch
not
that
drink
thing.
at all, by the way. So I'm gonna have Matt and Aaron host the match. I'm participating. I cannot be in here though because you cannot have alcohol in here. So I'm gonna do it at home. So what I'm gonna do is I have not gotten drunk in so many years. I'm gonna buy so much whiskey. I'm gonna buy so many beers. This is happening. 4th of July episode. We're gonna find. This is gonna be so much fun. So but let's move on to Wonder Woman. So let's
fight you won't remember.
Look forward to a lot of things in July. The Tom Cruise versus The Rock fight, which is going to probably be the greatest fight ever. And by the way, Aaron, we didn't hear your word. Is it official? It's going to happen.
Hold on.
What's up?
What do you think?
Before we go on, just promise me this. If we're going to really do a drunk movie fight, I want you to go to Denver and we do a stone movie fight. Just on bath salts or whatever. That way, every time like a bird flies by, you go.
I'm not getting high.
No,
like that plane got really close to hitting me.
I wouldn't endorse stone movie fights because the real stone movie fights is one of the worst things I've ever seen.
And it's illegal.
Did they go like? Yeah, I agree with that. Did they just agree with each other and just talk?
Matt, we'll talk about that when we move to California. That's a different one.
Oh, true. There you go.
Yeah. All right, so let's get in. So we're going to talk more about fan movie fights, but before I get to that, Aaron, is that official? Should we?
Right.
The Rock versus Tom Cruise, official fight.
Let's go.
Book it, baby. That's happening. Woo! So let's get into Wonder Woman, guys. Why are the critics loving this movie so much?
Because it's a good movie. That's why. That's really all there is.
None of us have seen it though, right?
No, we haven't.
No.
Okay.
What? So who's seeing it first? That's the question.
I'm seeing it Thursday.
I'm
It
either
depends on me. Thursday or Friday.
I'm either seeing
Thursday.
it okay. I'm either seeing it tomorrow or Thursday. It just depends on when they do an employee screening for me.
Okay. If it's like my theater, it'll do it like Thursday or something.
So
because when I work there,
since we are talking about DCU, and we'll get more into that when Justice League comes to. We'll be in LA probably with that too. So most of us.
Sure.
Matt hates Suicide Squad with such a passion, and
I do.
we have to talk about where Wonder Woman is taking the DC universe because Suicide Squad scarred Matt. So Matt, why did Suicide Squad scar you so much that while Wonder Woman is now like the hope for the DCU?
Okay. So BVS, going with that, I enjoy it somewhat. It's meh to me, but it's a very messy movie. You could tell that
Yes, it is.
they were really getting their hands into it.
I like the movie a lot, and I will admit to that it is extremely all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
But with Suicide Squad, it was like that scene where Batman gets emails of all the heroes, but just 10 times worse and bloated. Because it's like, oh, let's throw every single villain in there. They don't need to be there. Hell, we got some guy getting his head blown up because, whatever. He could have been used for a movie. Probably not because he's useless. But it literally has some of the worst dialogue I've seen in a while for comic book movies. Fantastic Four is the one that maybe has worse dialogue, probably does, but the villain is atrocious. I think you think it's the worst villain ever in a comic book movie, right?
Yeah, I still do.
I don't think it's that. I think it's one of the worst, but it's not the worst. The only saving graces in that movie is Margot Robbie, Will Smith, and Jai Courtney. Everything else was just abysmal. It literally gave me a headache that I could not work the next couple days because it was so bad. I was expecting something fun, and it just tried way too hard to be Marvel.
So it made you sick, kind of like Alice with Transformers 4, and Terminator made
I cried. I'll just say that. I cried over that movie.
Not to this movie, but to a different movie because I had so much hype for one movie in particular because I thought maybe it could have been the saving grace of the franchise I love. And that's two movies which made me so sick, and that is Terminator Genesis and The Expendables. Not Expendables. Terminator Genesis made me sick. It made me cry because I love the first movie and I like the second one, but this one was like that. But I'm going to say this. My dad's calling me. Go ahead, Aaron. I'll be right back.
So, sorry, what was the question? I zoned out for a second.
I guess it was about why Suicide Squad was so bad that Wonder Woman has to be, or why Wonder Woman is
Suicide
the only
Squad,
hope or whatever.
I clearly don't hate Suicide Squad as much as you seem to, but it's not a good movie by any means.
Right.
I think it's just, I think Suicide Squad's biggest problem was it falls victim to, you have a boardroom of people and half of them have one idea and half of them have another of what this movie should be. And it feels like they just kind of took these two versions of the films and went, let's take the greatest hits of both and make a movie out of it. It just feels very disconjointed. It feels very tonally off. The first 20 minutes feel like a damn music video montage, and then you don't get that feeling at all for the rest of the film. Enchantress is a poorly written character with a bad actor portraying her. And there's just a lot of weak characters in the film. You have a giant Suicide Squad, and you only actually really ever get to meet about 3 of the characters. I mean, even Jai Courtney, who was good in the film, you don't actually learn anything about the character. You just get to see him with his boomerang and his pony toy, and that's about where it ends with him. I think it's just
right.
It was just a very, very poorly executed movie on multiple fronts. I'm not going to say it's entirely David Ayer's fault, but he is some of the blame here because it was not written very well and he was the writer. And I understand, I believe he said he only had 6 weeks to write the script, so it's not like it's great circumstances for writing, but it's just, it was just a really bad combination of bad decisions put together, and it made a very bad film.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
My dad.
Oh, you're good.
The only reason I like Suicide Squad more than BVS is because at least Suicide Squad for part of the film does try to have fun with itself, whereas BVS is another very sloppy movie that's not it. There's no fun in it for 90% of that film. But that's the only reason I like Suicide Squad more.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and say before we get into the game, my favorite DC movie right now still is The Man of Steel, and I watched this again last night. And I love Man of Steel. I do. I don't think it's fantastic. I think it's amazing, though. And this movie just personally connected with me, but I think it's sloppy at times, and yes, it's that. But to me, I kind of have – the Wonder Woman kind of feels like it has that Man of Steel vibe that I really liked. And the reason why I really enjoyed BVS is because they took a very dark tone. Yes, it didn't work as well as we all thought it would, and yes, it was a giant mess. But I related to the characters, and I loved Bruce Wayne as Batman. He still is my – look, I know people are going to hate me when I say this. That is still my favorite interpretation of Batman. He's broken, and that's the reason why. Look, I understand that killing people with somebody who loves Batman as much as I do. Matt knows I love Batman. Like, I'm trying to make a Batman movie for so long. Aaron, I think you know about this. I've tried so long to make one, and it just hasn't really worked out, and we'll try in the future. I tell you it's going to happen someday. But
you'll get there.
It kind of, yeah, exactly. Look, I understand that people are like, oh, he kills people. Look, the thing I'll say to this, it has story behind it, and that's the thing. What happened in the comics? Robin died, and that might have affected him. We don't know. We'll see when Batman comes out. But Suicide Squad, for me, was the first big misstep. And that's because, yes, Will Smith is the best that we probably have seen since I Am Legend. And it's kind of hard because
Jesus, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was. It's 10 years now. So I have hope for Wonder Woman. But so we're going to do this How to Fix the DCU real quick before we get into the game. Okay, gentlemen. So
we didn't really talk about Wonder Woman.
We did talk about Wonder Woman a little bit.
We talked very little. We're like, Wonder Woman's coming out.
Okay.
Critics are liking the movie.
Okay, so we'll talk about Wonder Woman really quick before because we got a packed show tonight. What is the one
I
thing
feel like a DC.
you really want from Wonder Woman, Matt?
What I want the most is a story that isn't a mess. I want a coherent movie that has great performances all around, which looks like we're going to get that. We can have fun with the movie and, not like the fun where it's like, oh, we'll just throw it in because Marvel does it. No, I want it to feel natural, and this is what it looks like it's going to be doing. The only negative, besides maybe the third act, is a little bit choppy. Anyway, is one of the villains in the movie was bad, which I believe it's Dr. Poison or whatever. But other than that, I mean, I wish that's what I want. I want all the villains to be great, but I just want a coherent, smooth story that doesn't feel forced, and it is not like setting up the next movie. It feels like its own thing.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and agree with that. I think I like what they're doing. I think also if you've seen Monster, amazing movie, incredible movie. Netflix, can you try to get that in this week? You need to try to get Monster that movie. I did this for so long. Like me, not a Batman movie. It's happening. Jesus Christ. But I have faith in this. I think Gal Gadot's one of the best. She is. So I have hope. Real quick. So Aaron, go ahead and Wonder Woman, and then we're gonna get into what we're gonna do right now. How to fix the DCEU. So we're gonna go ahead and let Aaron finish, and then we're gonna do that, and while I'm going to the bathroom.
Yeah.
These guys are going to be your answer. Go to the bathroom.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So my thing is, I don't need anything specific from Wonder Woman. I just need the movie to be good, because at this point, Man of Steel, I score films when I see them because, with my circle of friends, I'm the movie guy, so they look to me for opinions on movies. Man of Steel is a 5 out of 10. It's an average film, or like a 6. It's an average film.
Right.
It was like a 4 out of 10. BVS was a 3 out of 10. I'm not extremely positive on any of these DC films so far. And so the one thing I need Wonder Woman to do is be good, because I'm at a point now, this is something that I've had arguments with people over because it's just the way that I feel. I watched these Wonder Woman trailers, and I've watched the 2 Justice League trailers, and I watch these trailers and I go, analytically speaking, these are well-made, well-put-together trailers. I have zero excitement for Wonder Woman. The most excited I've been for this movie is seeing that it has a good critic score and that people are at least liking the film. I've had zero excitement for this thing during its entire marketing campaign because all I can think about is they're 0 for 3. They're pretty 1 for 3 or they're 0 for 3 in my opinion. And just as long as we get a good, this movie just needs to be good. And then, we'll take it one step at a time from there because, this movie had a lot going against it, in my opinion. It's coming from a universe that's not on the positive, in my opinion. I was one of the people who was really nervous when they cast Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman because it's like her only acting experience at the time was Fast and the Furious, and it's not like those movies have amazing acting chops in them. You don't need that to survive in those films. So it can't just, just as long as it's good, I don't care what they do. Just be good.
Yeah, and going back on that zero excitement for the Wonder Woman thing, as far as the trailers go, that's how I've been. And I told Chris this, and I know he doesn't like it, but I compare this to like the Transformers movies in the sense, no, they're not as bad as the Transformers movies, but in the sense of, the trailers look great, but once you get to the movie, it's like, eating a nice-looking soft taco, with cheese. It just looks delicious. But once you get into it, the inside is ultimately shit. It's like someone took a dump in it. So, that's how I look at it. So, if Wonder Woman's great, and if Justice League is at least good, then, I think they're on the right track.
Okay. All right. So while Aaron's doing that real quick, I think he needs to do some real quick. So, okay. So what we're going to do is he has to do a little errand, so we'll let him do that. We're going to play the game. We're going to end that, and then we're going to make a big announcement. But we're going to do Fix the DCEU, and this is a game I really like creating. So what we're going to do, guys, we are going to pick a director. Matt, do you have a pencil or a thing for the game? Pen and paper?
I don't know. I'm at a park.
We'll figure it out. So what I'm going to say right now, for the DCEU, we're gonna let Aaron go first, since he's our guest. And
he might be doing something.
What?
He might be doing something still once we get to it.
Okay. Well, here's what we're gonna do. We can let one person, if somebody picks his character, you cannot pick it, and somebody picks the actor for the villain and the hero, you cannot pick it. And we cannot pick anybody. Oh, he came back.
Oh, okay.
You cannot. Okay. So, Aaron, here's how we're doing the DC how to fix it. You're going to get to pick a superhero because you are our guest. We're going to let you go first. You're going to pick a superhero who is not in the Justice League, who is not playing Superman, so you can't pick anybody who's in the Justice League. Should we make a rule? You cannot pick The Rock.
No, I wasn't going to.
The movie has come out yet, but he is casted.
The Rock is Black Adam.
You know what?
So
because I want to pick that. No, we're not going to allow it because that would be too easy for me. So what we're going to do is you can pick a big actor or a medium actor or someone coming up. You can pick superhero who is not in the Justice League, who does not have a film, and who is not having one coming up in the next 2 years, who hasn't been casted yet either. And you can pick an actor who hasn't been casted or has for a villain. So, Aaron, because you are our guest, we're going to let you pick the director, the movie, the character, and the villain, and the actor. So,
if you guys go first, because I'm kind of lost as to where to start right now. I need time to think.
Matt, are you okay? Matt, are you okay if I go first?
Yeah, you go first. I'm kind of finalizing what I'm going to do.
Okay. Because this movie's coming out, I'm going to go Josh Whedon for Batgirl. I'm going to go, actually, I'm going to.
So we're picking a movie that's already in development.
No, we're picking. No, actually, no. Fuck it. No, we're not going to do that. We're going to pick. We can reboot a character.
Because there's so many of them. There's so many.
Yeah.
Look, how about
that was my thing.
If a movie has not come out or is not casted and has not been filming yet, you can do it. So like an Army Hammer for Shazam.
Okay.
We can do that. Or a Green
that makes
Lantern.
it easier.
So I'm going to do Josh Whedon. I'm going to do Batgirl. I'm going to do Emma Watson for Batgirl. I am going to do, and we got to pitch a story for this. I'm going to do Jared Leto as the Joker. And, no, wait, we can't do that. Fuck.
Yeah, so he's pretty much out.
Yeah. No, for the Joker, though, I'm gonna adapt this from right after Under the Red Hood. So I'm gonna pick, because this might be actually what the movie is. For playing the Joker, I am gonna cast my buddy. Probably just what? Can I cast Jonathan, or is that like the worst idea, Matt? Because nobody's seen him in a movie.
I would pick
He's never
somebody
really
else.
auditioned, but probably not. Okay, so if I had to pick anybody, I'm gonna go old school in this bitch, because you can't go old school if you want to with an older actor. I'm going Mark Hamill as the Joker. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go like right after Return of the Jedi. So that's what I'm doing, and we will pitch a story then. So who wants to go next, Matt or Aaron?
I'll let Matt go first.
We got to pitch a story, and then that's just how we're going to do it. And we could just say what people think, and then we're going to get right into the game to get this over with. So go ahead, guys. Who wants to go next?
Okay. I mean, I can go unless Aaron wants to. It doesn't matter to me.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You're fine.
Okay, cool.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, so I want to do maybe. So we're listing director, actor, villain.
Yep.
And then we'll get to story later.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
We're
Just want to make
pitch
sure.
a story,
So,
and then we're gonna debate like for a minute. After we're all done with everything, whether we like the idea or we think it should, like some projections of what we think could be better.
Okay, so I want to do a Green Arrow movie.
Okay.
You know, because it's going to happen. It's bound to happen eventually. And I want it to be directed by Stephen DeKnight, who has done Spartacus and stuff, so we can give it that more hand on hand, and Daredevil. So he knows how to film a superhero story, per se. And
For those watching, he's doing Pacific Rim 2, which comes out next year, which is his first production. Congratulations, buddy. And then he's also doing what I would love, first off, if we could interview him, because I know he would. He's also doing Godzilla 2.
Right. And his wife follows me on Twitter. So
yeah, you told me that.
Cool. Yeah. But I want this movie, and it's going to sound weird, but I'll explain the story. Stephen Amell comes back as Green Arrow. I'll get into how this is going to work. We got Stephen Amell, who has been arguing that these worlds should be connected. We're going to have Stephen Amell in a Green Arrow movie, and who should we have as the villain?
Deathstroke?
Yeah, we'll have Deathstroke, who will be played by
Chris Day.
No. Face. Spider-Man 2, Magic Mike, what's his name?
Manu Bennett.
Okay, yeah, we'll go Manu Bennett.
Joe Manganiello.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So save your story. All right, go ahead, Aaron.
Yeah, I was going to.
No, I'm gonna say this real quick. Is it Army Hammer for Shazam?
I mean, I don't know enough about DC Comics to pitch a story. That's my thing. I don't know. I know more about Marvel than I do DC.
Okay. Do you not want to do it?
Yeah, it'd take too long for me to figure out. My thing, what I was looking at was I was going to do the Green Lantern movie, and it was just trying to find two people who would have a chemistry enough to work in that.
Okay.
But I think I'll sit this one out again and let you guys go. You're more prepared than I am, and you know more about this than I do. So I just want to hear what you guys have to say.
This is my forte for DC. Matt, do you want to go first, or you want me to go first? You go ahead.
I can go first. I'll go. Okay. So
we're just gonna give the story, and then Aaron's gonna give his quick points, and we're gonna give our quick points as people who work. We'll try. Matt's gonna be a film critic. Aaron, I don't know what you're doing. I'm acting and directing, so.
Okay. So with this, for me anyway, I'm not big into the comics. You know, I know the TV shows, I know the movies, and I've read enough to kind of, face is low, to understand kind of what characters have gone through. So with my movie, this will take place after Justice League 2. I think this is probably where you're going to see Green Arrow get introduced in the DCEU in reality. So it's going to take place after Justice League 2. And somehow during the movie, the Flash messes with the timeline and stuff. And you have Stephen Amell, who's from a different Earth, somehow gets into this movie because of the whole timeline. You know, they travel with different Earths. You had Charlie Hunnam would say was the Earth 1 Green Arrow. Something happens, and now Stephen Amell takes over. So that's how he's in this DCEU, and it makes sense I think that's how they're going to kind of give nods to TV show, anyways, the time travel. But anyway, so you're going to have that, and you know, it's like the first season all over again. He comes back to you know, his city after being on the island for 5 years. It's an origin story in ways, but it's going to be more of a it's a fun but also, you know, dark movie. So it's going to mix both of these things well, which I think that's how you need to actually fix the DC universe, is to have different feels for every movie but ultimately connect. So it's going to have a fun but dark tone in this movie. And Deathstroke, you know, he just fought Batman, defeated him, and now Stephen Amell must come out of this, you know, must come out of the city and go to Gotham City and fight Deathstroke. Like I said, I don't know a whole lot about the comic world, but that's kind of your gist of what the movie's going to be about.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and give mine. This is going to take place about 5 years before Batman vs Superman. So this is right after, maybe immediately 2 months after the, maybe a couple of years after the events of Red Hood. I forget his name.
Yeah.
Jason Todd.
Jason Todd died, and it's like a couple months. Nobody has found the Joker since. Batman has kind of gone insane. He is no longer around right now, so the people kind of need to protect her. I'm also casting Tim Drake in this movie, and I am casting I'm looking for a young actor. So, of course, Matt's going to probably yell at me when I say this, but we're going to go with the shaved head, my twin, Will Poulter, who's going to play Tim Drake. And Tim Drake's just becoming Robin. So he's still training a little bit. He's still learning under Batgirl. But Emma Watson's kind of bringing in this kind of thing. This is before the Killing Joke, so we don't know if that's still going to happen. But she's trying to hunt down the Joker. It's going to be kind of a cat and a mouse thing, trying to get justice for what happened to her friend, and for her, like a mentor to her. And that's what basically the movie is. The Joker's going to have a cat and mouse game, and it's going to be really good. So that's going to pretty much wrap it for How to Fix DCEU. We both kind of like this, and we both like what they do, kind of like genres, really kind of help, like Logan with Westerns and Dark Knight with genre. But anyway, you guys, I've been waiting, so let's play the game. We're going to kind of do Schmodown terms. Now, I don't think Matt has a keyboard or anything with him, so I don't think he can do a whiteboard. But
No.
but he can just say the answer if he needs to, if that's okay. We're going to do it in Schmodown terms. So round one is going to go like this. Aaron Cornell, do you have a paper or anything?
I can grab a piece of paper, yeah. Give me a second. I can
Let's
grab
do
paper and
that.
pen.
And then I got the questions for you guys, and then we are going to do a Schmodown kind of thing. We're going to do 2 rounds, 3 rounds if necessary. So, and then we'll get into the announcement, guys, before we wrap up. And this is for just DC movies, guys, by the way.
Just DC movies, got it.
Just DC movies.
If you watch my last Schmodown match, you know Marvel's more my strength, but
Yes, I do know that, and we will save that for Spider-Man if you could. Because, guys, by the way, we really would like to have Aaron be on here full time. It's just up to him if he has the time for it.
no, this is fun. I'm having fun.
So I know it's a lot to ask. We kind of need a Mark Riley on here. Is that something you would want to do?
Yeah, I mean, just because things change with me on a weekly basis because of my job, and I have school that I do as well, so things change. But I'll love to come on as often as I can.
Sounds good. Hey. I had to get up for a second.
Yeah. Matt, what is
And any chance to just talk movies.
Okay. Yeah, we'll love to have you on. There's also, by the way, guys, after we finish recording, by the way, I'd love you guys to stick around as part of the crew so we can talk about one last thing before we wrap up when the show's over. It's about a certain crew member we need to talk about. But anyway, are you fellas ready?
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's fight. Pun
Ding, ding,
intended.
ding.
This isn't fan movie fights. It's just Schmodown, but
Okay.
terms. Okay. So the first question I have for you guys is Batman and Robin came out in what year?
Fuck you.
Do you want me to like put my answer up to the
You
screen?
can put your
or-
answer on a piece of paper. We'll do that for the first
Okay.
one.
I think I know.
Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
I'm ready.
3, 2, 1. Aaron Conal, go ahead.
1997. Is that backwards?
All right, 1 point for Aaron. Matt?
I mean, I was gonna actually say 1997, but you should let me go first.
Yeah, you
Just
should
because
let
I'll
me
say the answer.
From now on.
Yeah.
Okay,
'Cause,
guys.
I mean, I knew it's 1997, but still, you need to
We'll still give you a point.
let me go first. Yeah.
That was a warm-up. Okay. Who played one of the worst characters of all time, Steel, in the movie Steel, which came out also the same year, mind you, as 1997?
I know what it is.
Bad year for movie.
Yes, it was.
That was
Except we still had Anaconda and Men in Black.
Anaconda was pretty bad.
It
But it
was
was
Spelling
perfect.
count? Oh, it's close enough.
No, it does not count. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Matt Beer.
That was Shaquille O'Neal.
Okay, we're going to put 1 point on for Matt. Mr. Aaron.
Shaquille O'Neal. Is it in the
Okay.
camera? There it is.
1 on the point, guys. We got 1. So, okay. Let's go into more of this. Who was one of the main villains in the 2011 disaster film Green Lantern?
2011 what?
Just one of them?
Who was one of the villains of Green Lantern with Ryan Reynolds? Now it's
There
getting
was
a little.
3?
There was 2. Who was one of the 2 villains? I mean,
Fuck. I can't think of his name. God damn it. I haven't seen this in so long for good reason, but
I don't know. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
oh my god. I see one of the villains.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Matt Beer.
The shit cloud. That's literally, I don't know what its name is.
Aaron, would you give him that?
I'm-
You did say the shit cloud.
The shit cloud.
The shit cloud. I had no idea what it was.
Considering I know the shit cloud's name, I don't want to give it to him.
Okay.
Yeah, I have no idea what the name is.
I don't think I can give it to you.
The one that I wrote, I'm ashamed that I know this. The one that I wrote, I'm trying to make sure I get on camera. The one that I wrote was Hector Hammond.
Okay.
Sure.
Cloud's name was Parallax.
Okay.
Was what?
Parallax.
Okay.
Matt,
Sure.
Aaron, he did say shit cloud.
No, I give
That
it to
kind of
him.
one. Yeah, let's
It's a
give
cloud of shit. It's a cloud of
it.
shit.
Pretty much. Okay, guys.
One of like three.
Everybody's low. It's Aaron and Matt's favorite film of all time. What date in particular? Looking for the date and the year. Did The Dark Knight come out?
What the fuck? I know the year.
Very
we
thing
have-
is, I think I know this.
I'm
Let's
looking for
see
the date. I'm looking for the date.
Like the day and time?
The day and time. No, the day and year.
Are you just talking a month and the year, or are you talking a physical day?
Like I'm looking for, say, like what did the Amazing Spider-Man come out? July 4th, 2012. Or when
That
did
really
the
come out July 4th?
No, July 2nd. I bet. But yeah,
Oh, no.
so I gotta give you a 5-head count, Matt. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Matt.
Was it like May? I don't know. May 16th, 2008.
Nope.
Yeah,
Aaron.
I scribbled it out at the last minute, or I scribbled part of it out. I put June 12th, 2008.
No, both are wrong. It was July 18th, 2008.
It was July. I thought I put July
Sorry.
first, and then I was like, I thought it was June. No, all right.
Oh yeah, I can see the day.
The
I was
Dark
eating a
Knight
hot dog that
Rises.
day.
It also came out the same day as Mamma Mia. But
Mamma Mia.
Dark Knight Rises
Better
came
movie.
out 2 days later in 2012 in July 20th.
Mamma
So
Mia was the better movie.
So between Mama Mia and Dark Knight, what won?
Oh, okay. All right, moving on. 2 more questions left before we get into this. The score is 2-1. No, 2-2. Okay. Who played? Oh shit! Which famous comedian had a big role in Superman 3?
Oh, that's easy.
right.
Easy.
Write it
I'm gonna feel
down.
bad if I get it wrong.
remember
I see his face.
being wrong.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Matt,
Was it Richard Pryor?
that is correct.
Richard Pryor. Where is it? Let me
All right, guys,
Richard Pryor.
3-3. One last question before we go into the magic hands. We're 1 to 10. Okay. All righty, guys. Okay, so I have to think. That's a little too easy.
The circle of life.
This is based on well, what if the
Yeah.
actor? Can I do the actress if it's based on Oh, it has to be DC trivia. Damn it. This does count. Who played Hugo? Fuck!
V for Vendetta.
No, I was meant to say who played V and V. Oh, okay. Who played Dr. Manhattan in Watchmen?
I don't know. I
thought
just see
Watchmen
his.
was good.
God, I don't know
See
his name. I don't know. I was gonna say I don't know his name, but I see his big blue dick that's in every single shot of the movie.
I gotta give you a 5. I gotta hear your name. In a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Matt.
Fucking know. I don't fucking know. Jacob Tremblay.
I take issue with that.
Aaron.
I'm pretty sure it was Billy Crudup.
Yeah, we mentioned
Oh.
it earlier.
You
Oh,
mentioned it earlier.
We did mention it earlier. All right, guys, we're going into the magic hands. So each of you guys are going to pick one number, and one number have a specific superhero that you have to do movie trivia on. If you get that person, you can. It's also we're going to do superheroes. We're going to do movies, characters, movies, release dates, and things like that. Okay. Because Aaron is our guest, Mr. Aaron, pick a number.
I'll go with number 5.
You picked Superman. Would you like to keep that or go something else?
Not the strongest on Superman. Is this just based on the movies?
Based on the movies.
Weak on Superman, but I'm not the strongest on him. You said there are 10 categories total?
Yes.
I'm going to take a chance. I'm going to go to I'm going to do number 8 instead.
That is movie release dates for DC movies.
Okay.
You gotta at
Thank
least
God.
get the month, and you at least have to get the month in the year or the month, the date in the year. Okay.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes.
What day did Green Lantern come out? Or month or year? You don't have to write this down. You can just say it as you want. If you want multiple answers, you can do that.
Oh, sorry. Repeat that again.
What month and year
Repeat that one more
Green
time.
Lantern come out?
I know the year, and I have a 1 in 12 shot of getting the month.
Would you like multiple choice for the month?
Okay, yeah, I'll go multiple
Yep.
choice then.
You only get 2 of these, though.
Okay.
Okay. So is it May? Is it December? Is it June? Or is it July?
I want to say July of 2011.
That is incorrect. Matt, would you like to steal?
is it May 2011?
That is also incorrect. It is June.
So it's June.
Damn.
It is June.
Yeah.
It came out,
I was
believe,
stuck
a
between
week
June and
after,
July.
like 2 weeks after the movie X-Men First Class came out. Okay. Next release date. Give me the month and the year that Superman 4: The Quest for Peace came out.
May of 1987.
Okay, let me check because I actually do not know.
That's correct, but
87 is correct. God damn it. All it right, eh? What did you say?
I said May of 1987.
That is incorrect. Matt, would you like
Damn
to
it.
steal?
July 1987.
That is correct. We are tied up. Okay.
DC films in July.
Your
release.
last question and movie release dates.
They're American.
They're very American. Give me at least the year. Actually, no, let's do the month for Batman Begins. Give me the month.
June of
Actually, give me the
2005.
month and the year.
5.
That is correct. All right, Matt Beer. Going into this, it is 5-4. Matt Beer has to tie it up. We are kind of entering this thing. Okay. Matt Beer,
Yes.
if you tie it up, you at least have to get one answer right, and we will still move. We'll move on to round 3. Okay, gentlemen, a shootout. So, okay, Matt, pick a number, 1 to 10.
1 to 10, I'm going to go with 3.
That is Batman movies. Would you like to keep it or go for something else?
I'll keep it.
Okay. All righty. What was Jack Nicholson's Joker's character name in the 1989 classic Batman?
Did you say Nicholson?
Yes.
Multiple choice.
Was it Jim? Was it Jack? Oh, wait. I'm going to talk about. Oh, wait. Hold on. Was it Jimmy Ross? Was it Jack Napier? Was it none? Was it Bruce Wayne Jr.? Or was it Clark Kent Jr.?
What was A and B?
A and B was it Jimmy Ross or Jack Napier?
I could be wrong. It's Jimmy Ross.
That is incorrect. For the chance to win, Aaron.
Jack Napier.
And your winner and the DC Film Fights, whatever. Champion, Aaron Turner. I'm Aaron Corr.
You kind of made it easy by going Bruce Wayne Jr., Clark
Yeah,
Jr.
Bruce Wayne Jr. and Clark Kent Jr.
It was literally like, see,
By the way, give a round of applause for these gentlemen. That was a good game. A very good game.
Movie release dates is not only a strength of mine, but that screwed me.
We are going to do more when Spider-Man comes out. All right, guys. Well, that's going to wrap it for the show tonight. But before we do that, Matt, we have an announcement, don't we?
sure, yeah, we do.
So for a long time, I have had this idea. Me and Matt have had this idea of starting something really cool.
I mean, you
We
did.
have reviews on here from me. We have the show here. We have Fan Movie Fights, but we are also starting the Chris on Movies podcast channel. This will be exclusively here for YouTube. And one of the shows is hosted by a guy sitting right across from us, one of our new guys on the show, Mr. Aaron Cornell. Now, Aaron, you've had a show called After Collider Talk for a very long time, which is no longer with us. What is the thing behind what you want to do?
Well, the show that I'm going to be hosting, which we talked about this earlier, the predicted start date I'm going for is June 12th. It's 2 Mondays from now. It's going to be a movie news show. It's going to be once a week. We're going to talk all the biggest movie news. I'm just looking for something. It's going to be very casual. Obviously, there will be a structure to it. And obviously, over the course of the run of the show, we're going to change things and develop it and make it feel more natural as we go on, because it's just going to be kind of a feeling it out type of thing. But the goal here is to, get a couple people together, talk some movie news, have a fun, show weekly where we just sit down and talk movies, because that's one of the things that I love doing. One of the things that I love about my job is sometimes it's so casual that we just talk movies, and we can talk movies for ages and go from topic to topic. And that's what I want this show to be. And using movie news as a template to do that, I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Okay, Matt, your response to this?
Sounds like it could be a fun show. We can always have a show. Is this going to be weekly or daily?
This is
I didn't
weekly.
catch
Weekly.
that.
Weekly.
Weekly? Okay, so sorry there was a train going by. But yeah, I do like that. I like the idea, possibly bringing guests on could be cool too. So, and like I said, talking movies, we can do that for hours and hours and hours until we fall asleep. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I like this idea.
I will say this. Well, before we end up, I've talked to him, and I am going to be like a Harloff on the show. He has asked me to be on there, and I will be on there. Of course, I know Matt Beer just doesn't have the time. He's not going to have a show, but I think his goal right now is to do producing to help me out.
I mean, I won't have a show per se, but I mean, I'm more than welcome to guest. Depending on what day it starts. Now, is this going to be a live show or is it pre-recorded?
It's a Monday show.
Is it pre-recorded or live? Because we do pre-recorded.
That's up to Aaron. I'm not for certain yet.
So, because if it's
That'll
pre-recorded,
just depend on the week and my schedule. But for the most part, I think maybe start off pre-recorded and then go live as we go on.
The only show I think that will be live, because I haven't announced this either. My show is called Action now breaking action films, and this is something I've loved for a very long time, and this is something that I really want to do. My goal is to get guests to come on. So my first guest is actually I want to be Aaron Coral. Aaron Coral will be my very first guest. And right now, I would say this, Aaron, what is your favorite action movie? It's just like, I want to discuss this first.
Off the top of my head, an action movie that I would like to talk, just because it is a great action movie. Would be one of my favorites, and it has been so underseen. Would be Edge of Tomorrow.
Okay, and we will do Edge of Tomorrow.
Okay.
We're going to do Edge of Tomorrow for the first episode. My goal is also to try to get Josh McCouga sometime this summer. I want to discuss Bad Boys 2 with him. I'd love to do that. And then for the second, to try to get Matt Beer. I think it's going to happen. It's probably going to be the second episode. Now, I'm just going to ask him right now, Matt, what would you like your first action movie to be to discuss? Because we're just going to discuss the action movies and something about it. Matt, what would you like to discuss? Something you love.
Probably like Die Hard, honestly.
Okay. Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to have an episode coming up. I'm going to say because the week of June 9th, and that's going to be from me. It's not going to count as an episode. It's just a little special thing, and we're going to discuss one of my personal movies that made me want to do action films. I'm going to try to get both of these guys on. We're not doing it tonight. It's too late. It is tiring. Yeah. I am tired. We're doing Raiders of the Lost Ark, and we're going to get that taken care of. That video is going to go up next week, so look forward to that. But the shows will be every Friday starting the week of May 12th. So 16th will be the very first episode. It's an every Friday show. Right now, because it will be live, we will do some live, but right now it's going to be pre-recorded and the episode will go live. But Aaron, when does your show kick off?
Like I said, my goal launch date would be that same week, June 12th, the Monday, just because that gives me a little bit of time to try and get things put together. And I'm going to put this out on the live show. Goal is, like I already said, Chris will be a regular part of it. Matt, if he's available, will obviously, appear on the show. But I want to have...
He's kind of our Mark Ellis anyway.
Yeah. I want to have people that can be on the show, because the fact is it's not a discussion if you don't have people to talk to.
Yeah.
Right.
And the thing is, besides the people that I'm working with directly right now, I don't have anyone specific in mind. So anybody who would be interested in possibly guesting on the show, or even if you have the availability being a regular member on the show, just reach out to me over Facebook and message me and say you're interested. And what I want to try and use the first couple of weeks to do is, if we get enough interest, maybe try out a couple different people, see how it goes, and find where the right chemistry is and who the right people are to be running this show with me. But if you're interested at all in appearing on the show, just reach out to me. Obviously, I'll give you the details about it. We have 2 weeks to figure it out.
I'm just going to say this right now. I already am to be a part of the show. So, but saying that, just as a person, I got the title. It's going to be Breaking Down Action. I think that's the...
you could go lights, camera, action.
But I'm also going to say this right now. This goes out to anybody who are along this round. If you have an idea for a show, but we are creating
Sorry,
a show
what?
here. If somebody wants to do a superhero show, you pitch me. What? What, Matt?
Oh, I thought you like were muted or something for some reason, or your mic was screwing up, but I guess you paused.
No.
No, you're good though.
Okay. I'm just gonna say like the show. So right now we are looking. We have Aaron's show will be on Mondays. The live show will be on Tuesday. I think right now the fan movie fights is either a Friday or Saturday. And then my show will be on Friday. Can you guys, Aaron, are you going to be available next week?
Sorry?
What just happened?
You're breaking in and out. I'm not really hearing you. That's why.
Okay, can you guys hear me now? Aaron,
you're good now. You're
available
good.
next week?
Yeah, I should.
Are you, hello? Can anybody hear me? Hello?
Sorry, what?
Okay, so I was going to ask Aaron, are you available next week to talk for The Mummy? I think we lost him, Matt.
Yeah, and it's raining right now, so.
Yeah, okay, so we're going to wrap the show up. Thank you, Aaron. I don't know if you can see us. I think we kind of lost Aaron. Thank you, Aaron. He's going to be a part of the crew now, so we're glad to have this, guys. It was a fun episode. Thank you so much for watching. I am Chris. You can go find my movie Fear of Blood. Just search Fear of Blood, Chris Day. Thank you for everybody who's giving love. Matt, where can the good people find you?
Just find me on my YouTube channel, That Movie Guy. You can find me there. I believe my Twitter is I'm That Movie Guy or It's That Movie Guy. It's one of the two. You can follow me there or on my other Twitter, which I believe is It's Matt Beer.
Give me 1 second.
So,
I'm going to call him a messenger.
So, yeah, that's where you can find me. Yeah, he left, so.
He did. I think he'll come back. Thank you, Aaron. He's a part of our crew now. Next week, we're going to be talking The Mummy. So look forward to that. We'll discuss some Tom Cruise stuff. But that's going to wrap it here, guys. The Chris Day Podcast Network joins. Oh, here he is. Here he is. So our question for you, Aaron, before you disappeared, are you available next week to discuss Tom Cruise and The Mummy?
Yeah, I should be able to. I was trying to say before it glitched me out. I actually get my work schedule sometime tonight, so literally tomorrow I'll be able to tell you whether or not I'm available.
Okay. You know what? How about, so busy for me, let's do a pre-recorded show. If you are free this weekend, we will do it this weekend.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
Okay. So like we said, guys, next week we're going to discuss The Mummy. One of the most anticipated, one of them actually, for the summer, one of the most interesting movies, and Aaron's boy. Chris and Aaron, The Rock versus Tom Cruise, will probably take right after 4th of July. We will discuss that. But that is going to wrap us up, guys. Look forward to this Friday. We have the very first ever Nerdum match. And that will be between the four. So one of Grace has around the graph. Matt, real quick before we go, who do you have winning the Nerdum match? Because this is kind of the first time we're doing this thing. Who do you got?
Who's it between Henry and Evan? Hello?
Henry and Evan.
Okay. I think I'm gonna go. I think I'll go Henry on this one. I think he'll just edge out Evan.
I think I would go the other way because I think if I'm correct, because Evan has more experience than Henry, I think that may aid him.
Okay. I'm gonna go Evan actually.
All right.
Evan does have more experience. He wasn't the number one contenders in the match.
Right.
Almost. I didn't really work out the way, but I think Evan's going to come back. I got Evan. Gonna wrap it up, guys. Aaron, we didn't get you, but we got our Twitter stuff and all that. Where can the good people find you?
Sorry, repeat that. Where can they find me? Sorry, repeat that one more time.
He was asking where
Um,
people can find you.
Yeah, I don't have a Twitter right now. If you want to find me, you can follow me on Instagram at Aaron T. Knoll, or add me on Facebook, Aaron Knoll.
All right.
And like I said, if anyone's interested in being a part of my show, just reach out to me. I'm open to pretty much anybody.
All right.
Chris?
Chris, hurry! It's raining and I need to go. It's like
Chris dropped.
Okay.
Great.
So yeah, I think.
Okay, so who's running the call?
I think he was, for some reason, it's still going live.
Props.
There he is. Oh, I don't know who's running it. I think I am, but I don't have the Wi-Fi or I don't have like a computer or whatever to do.
Chris, you good?
We lost.
There we go.
Yeah, we're good. Okay, sorry, as we lost it for a little bit, but that's gonna wrap it up, guys. Thank you so much for watching. We will be back next week. Look forward to the match coming up next week. Besides that, we will be doing again. So look forward to that, guys. That's gonna. Thank you for Aaron Cornell for joining us and being a part of the new crew. That's gonna wrap it up, guys. Thank you so much. Next time.